Hello everyone, Carrington here from Open Heart Games. We are back with our playthrough of Tyranny of Dragons. I'm actually going to start numbering the sessions so I remember. This is session number 37, which is fantastic. And so we have 37 episodes. Well, after this will be 37 episodes under our belts. Very excited about that. We are currently in Chapter 10, The Sea of Moving Ice, and that's awesome. Our characters, our band of heroes, are continuing to trudge through the Sea of Moving Ice in search of Makath the Crimson and also the Drakhorn, which is a legendary artifact, which is calling all of these dragons to some kind of nefarious means. The cult is apparently somehow involved in. The cult of the dragon, of course, is, we believe, obviously it's the worst kept secret in Faerun, that they are trying to bring Tiamat to the mortal realm. Dun, dun, dun. The real question is, how are they trying to do that? And that is what the party is trying to solve. We're going to go ahead and do a little bit of our preamble and talk about what people... We did a little bit of this before the show was starting, kind of talking about what people are watching, what people are doing, what people are at. And also we have a familiar face that's back, that's joining us tonight. Very excited about that. Welcome back, Pip.
Hi.
So yeah, I guess, we'll start...
Thanks for letting me sit in tonight.
Absolutely. Welcome back. Oh, yeah, before I forget, you'll see right behind me right here, I have, for those watching the stream, I have my Rime of the Frost Maiden poster up now because, my banner rather, sorry, my wall scroll. We've just finished and wrapped our second campaign, so we've wrapped 2 campaigns, Descent into Avernus and Rime of the Frost Maiden, which means that we're going to be starting Spelljammer very soon. I had a lot of fun. It felt like, the last session of Rime of the Frost Maiden kind of felt like cheating to me, because it felt like the script to Revenge of the Sith, which is just like villain monologues, they fight. Villain monologues, and then they fight again. Like, that kind of felt like the story. But we wrapped up everything, and it was fun. I feel like that was that campaign, and Zed actually played in that, so you can definitely weigh in on this. I felt like it was an imperfect campaign with a lot of wonderfully perfect moments.
Yes.
So,
absolutely. For every time that one of us, it wasn't just me, but one of us got frustrated with the module, not anything Carrington did, not anything that any of us did in the party, just like situational, based on how things were written. For every moment that we were frustrated, there was also at least 2 opportunities for us just to laugh and have a good time. And I think that's a net positive.
Yep.
Am I glad it's over? Yes. Will I play it again? Never.
I would run it completely differently. Now that I have run the campaign from start to finish, there are so many things I would change. Sometimes it's really hard. This is a GM tip for everyone. Sometimes it is really hard when you are running a campaign. It's almost like, I forget the artist that does this, but you're looking at a whole bunch of spots up close, and it isn't until you take several steps back that you can see the full picture, and you don't get to do...
George Seurat.
Thank you so much. I had a feeling you would know, but it's so like, it's
full of pointless trivia.
Oh, not pointless. Precision trivia. It's one of those moments, right? Or like what Aristotle says, it's more than the sum of its parts. And that is, that's so true. And I feel like there are so many things looking back that I would have changed. It was the first campaign that we ran as Open Heart Games, and I feel like I said we had a whole bunch of wonderful people, and each and every one of our clients for that campaign, I was so blessed that each and every one of them signed up for the next campaign, which tells me I'm doing something right. And one of them actually brought 2 of their friends into the next campaign, so that's fantastic, and I'm very thankful for that as well. Yeah.
I'm glad my character died when it did. So I got to, well, no, because I got to play a different character to balance out our party.
Yep.
Which in and of itself, the character had its own, thing going for the story. I played. My character died at like level 7. And I ended up playing. The party had, and this is small spoilers, not really though. Played Goliath from the Goliath family that we met prior, and he was not only this big old athletic jockey dude, but he had a knack for learning and carving runes, and was a rune knight fighter, which is a really sweet class.
Yeah, it was really fun to watch. I think the best part was when you threw a Yeti off a mountain.
I threw a Yeti off a mountain.
A Yeti?
Yeah.
I did yeet a Yeti. That was one of the highlights. The closing battle, I picked up and threw 2 people into a...
No.
Into the sun.
Yes. There's a giant magical mythalar, for those who know what that is a giant magical ball of power, which is kind of like a magical reactor, and I don't want you to sell yourself short. His character picked up 2 mini-bosses and threw them into the sun. Not just regular people, mini-bosses. Important NPCs that mattered.
That names, right?
I just picked them up and said, "You're going home," and put them into the sun. Yep. It was very looking back at it, very momentous for the character.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I was ready for Roll20 and D&D Beyond to have me roll a 1 and have myself go into it, and that is how my character was going to end. In that epic bravery, like, I'm going to tackle the boss, but something goes wrong and I end up dying. I was ready for that, but nope, we had some good rolls, and we picked some people up, and
minor spoilers for Frostmaiden and things I would do differently. And I actually have the name of the blog typed up, which is Rime of the Frostmaiden Defrosted, because I always do like a post-mortem. And my biggest tip is Oral is not strong enough. She needs to be much more powerful. If I was going to run this again, I know that there are people out there that have taken much like my advice with Strahd. I think Strahd is incredible, and that he is not nearly as strong as he needs to be. There are game masters that are out, oh, you need to play him right. Hard disagree. He's not strong enough, especially if you have a heads up, like, let's go in and kill stuff party. It's like, they're the ones that are like, all right, cool. First thing we're going to do is we're going to Dome of Force Strahd, and then we're going to cast Sunlight where he's at. Like, that kind of stuff. What's Strahd going to do? I'll answer you really quickly. He dies. He actually doesn't, because that's not how Sunlight works in that particular instance, but that's another story for another day. Oral is not strong enough. She's a three-phase boss fight, and boy howdy, would I love to see Wizards of the Coast and other game masters do 3-stage boss fights. Like, her boss fight is really cool, but like I said, she's not strong enough. She either needs to be buffed or she needs to have a lot of minions to support her. And I did add that, but it's real hard when you got a wizard with Fireball who's just like, guess what no one's immune to? My fireballs! And then, nukes everything, which is great. Like, it's always great to see an encounter ending Fireball. Especially with Evocation Wizard that can just end an encounter. So, all right, sorry, I feel like I monopolized that, but anyway, let's run through and see what everyone's been doing, and then we'll get into the meat of the show and go from there. So, usually we start at the top with Mordock, but let's go ahead and jump in with Zed at the bottom, and we'll work our way up.
Yeah, Zed here, BGX Mage here in chat and on Twitter, and Zed is. I'm also going to do character introductions. Kill a couple
Yeah,
birds with
that's
stones.
absolutely all the birds, all the stones.
I play the adorable kobold monk who wants to grow up and be a dragon. And as we were just talking about, I was finishing up Rime of the Frost Maiden and getting ready for Spelljammer, where I will be playing a monk with a gun. Because my philosophy on Spelljammer is let's do silly things, and
Mm-hmm.
what's sillier than a ranged monk? Known for its melee, we're going to um, run around and shoot things, and
I
it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yep. I feel like Spelljammer really encapsulates my GM style, which is like, there's definitely going to be like serious moments, but like, let's do a bunch of silly stuff. Because I feel like, I don't know, maybe my inspiration for GMing is kind of like Taika Waititi-esque, where like, it's really hard for me to take everything really, really seriously.
Yeah.
But, you know, because it's a game, we're supposed to have fun. That's the goal, right? You know, I like that Thor Ragnarok style storytelling, so...
Yep, I'm ready. I'm ready to bring that to life. His name is Knack, and he is going to be a character. The party is not ready for him.
The first meme I sent was a gift from Equilibrium.
Yes, the monk. Yeah, it's the party's not ready for him, but I'm very excited to bring him to life. Not of Kobold, as much as I love kobolds. We were talking about this off stream. I have a nice devotion to the kobolds, but we're playing monk, and we're going to play a different kind and have some fun with that. And other than that, I worked last weekend. I'm off the rest of this week, so I'm getting caught up on all my TV shows that everyone is talking about going as we go up the list. So
excellent. Yeah. What about Rillick? I heard like I'm gonna speak, and then I heard silence.
That happens all the time. The mute button on my mic is wearing out. Rillick is upset that Zed wants to kill two birds with stones. Not cool. I'm J-Dub in the morning in chat, playing Rillick. I've been playing...
Aarakocra, right? Aarakocra something?
Aarakocra something.
Yep. Spellcaster.
Something. We'll see. Which I meant to message you about that, but anyway, I've been playing a lot of Overwatch 2 since it came out when they let me and the game's not broken.
Nice.
Yep,
we'll do it. So
week.
You said you're gonna message me. We'll do it live. Yep. You'll write it and we'll do it live.
I'm fried chicken.
Yeah, there you go.
That's.
All right.
If only we weren't on a boat that I needed with a bunch of people that I also needed.
Yep. All right. And of course we are welcoming back. It's been a while since we've seen Pip. Welcome back, Pip.
Well, thank you. My name is Weird Knight in the chat there, and I'm glad for Pip to show up. He was always going to be kind of an in and out kind of character because I can't be here every week, but I managed to be able to get in this week, and I said to Carrington, can you write me into the story because I'd love to play tonight, and
I feel like we're gonna start off this stream and you're gonna wish I hadn't.
Yeah, well, fair enough. I mean, you know, these things happen. If that happens, it's okay. But Pip is it's what would happen if a rabbit became a Mandalorian. That's a good way to put it, really.
Yeah.
Pip is an artificer, depending on how you accent your syllables, and or an artist for artist. I can't even say it the other way. And he's an artiller. Try to say that 3 times fast. Artificer, which means he's a gun bunny. He blows stuff up. Yeah. So as somebody pointed out when I was playing earlier in the season here, that I've just made Rocket Raccoon in Dungeons and Dragons. I made him a bunny. instead of a raccoon. And he really has a mad on for dragons. The only dragon that he even remotely trusts is Zed, because he has proven himself, and Zed's pet dragon, who I'm sure has grown to be a big girl now.
Only slightly bigger
Not
than.
quite.
Yeah.
Give it time.
And so, yeah, I'm just happy to be here tonight, and maybe I can shoot some things. So.
Excellent. And of course we have Patron as well.
Yes, hello everyone. I'm Brad, also known as Hidehari in chat, and I'll be playing the lovable Patron Purple Heart. Our friendly drinking game purveyor.
Purveyor of fine ales. Excellent.
Fine might be a loose term.
And anything you've been into or doing lately?
Oh man. So still going through and listening to old Dan Carlin podcasts. Currently on Supernova in the East, the history of the war in the Pacific.
Interesting.
In addition to that, I've been playing a whole lot of that free-to-play game Crossout, which I told everyone you should not play because microtransactions. But hey, it's fun, and I did it before it had as much as it does now.
Have we talked about Power Wash Simulator yet on the stream? I feel like we haven't.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started on Power Wash Simulator. It's a beautiful piece of work.
I'm not knocking it. I'm more entertained by the silliness of it. You know, it's just so, I don't know, it's just so novel, I guess. Like, I mean, as someone who owns a power washer, like, the act of power washing is almost like a technological aquatic zen.
Oh, absolutely. My favorite part is you've offered me to come over and do it in real life, and I'm like, I'm good.
I'm just trying to help you have these real these real life experiences that if you're ever interested, you let me know. I've got a deck that may or may not be in need of some power washing.
Now, Carrington, sounds like to me you own a power washer. You won't even boot up Power Wash Simulator, nor will you boot up your power washer to do your deck.
This isn't about me. All right, and last but certainly not least, we have Mordok.
I'm Dave. I'm playing Mordok. I am not part of the zoo that we currently have with birds and bunnies and lizards. Oh my! I'm a Azamar Protector Grave Cleric who does heal occasionally.
There we go.
Usually only myself. So
we have stats.
At least according to the stats.
Yeah. Night Divinity says, and I quote, "He's a cleric," with with a
quote.
Quotes. Yep.
Just heal thyself.
Very good. Very good.
I'm a doctor, Jim, not a bricklayer.
Mordok's over here. I'm a grave digger, not a cleric.
Yeah, that's right.
Excellent. And have you been enjoying anything in particular?
I think I mentioned a few weeks ago, I'm still enjoying baseball, at least for another 2 games.
Sure.
At minimum. And I found that my latest I'm Never Gonna Sleep Again game called Terra Invicta, which is a giant 4X game where you start off as a shadow government on Earth and you get to try to take control of other nations as the aliens, who are not nice, are swarming the solar system, invading the planet. And you have to figure out how to beat them. And I've just started and it's been wonderful.
That's awesome. I've been, and I've talked a little bit about it on the stream. I've been getting a fairly regular Twilight Imperium game, which is one of my big passions, because I either have time because, like, between work and the stream and Open Heart Games and other side projects that I'm working on, it feels like I have time for either, like, a carved out, like, dedicated, like, 8-hour, I'm doing nothing but this, phones off, no emails, nothing, just focus on that, or, like, a really quick, like, all right, I've got 30 minutes in between eating and sleeping, let's play a board game, and my wife acquiesces. So being able to get, we've got 2 games under our belts, and we've got another game scheduled sometime soon, and I'm just real excited to play it. But it is a big time commitment and whatnot. We've got a 6-player game coming up, and man, I'm just absolutely stoked. But I have not won one of these games yet. But honestly, for me, and I was telling someone at work about this, they're like, you've played so many times and you haven't won all of them. And I'm like, the victory for me is having a regular Twilight Imperium group and being able to claim that. Because not a lot of people can. Because it's a long game and a lot of commitment. So as long as I get close.
Also, diving for Mechatol Rex and not protecting yourself doesn't usually lead to a winning strategy.
Zed does have a win, by the way. I'll brag on you.
I do have a win.
Yep.
Actually,
you had the first win.
I had the first win,
yep.
And if I had higher initiative, I would have won last time.
Yep. I this past game, the last time I played was in 2018, and I did win that game. I enjoyed my time, but it's been a minute. Really happy to be back in the saddle playing that game. I do have some stuff, by the way, real quick, and then we will jump in. Probably doing our quick 30-minute preamble. I got some stuff in the mail. So first, I did get these. I got these earlier, but I kickstarted these at the same time, so it made sense in my head to show them off at the same time. So the first thing is, this is from Sly Flourish. That was terrible glare. This is the Lazy DM's workbook. It's a nice little spiral bound. It's full color. It's absolutely gorgeous. None of this is sponsored by Sly Flourish. Sly Flourish, hey, you should sponsor my stream. And it's got a bunch of random tables and all kinds of really cool, really helpful stuff. A bunch of fantasy names and surnames and random traps and cool stuff like that. I have all the stuff by Sly Flourish. If you're a game master and you're like, man, it seems like I just spend forever on my prep, check out the Lazy Dungeon Master. It is a very different philosophy on how to prepare for your D&D sessions. My prep has been cut down by a factor of, I've cut my prep down by at least 2/3. I usually only prep about 2 hours before I run, because I'm just prepping the things that I need, as opposed to just what if I had all of these things? Yeah. Night Divinity says, I spend too much time wanting to have a great story. Absolutely. I just think that it's for new game masters. So one of my bosses at a previous job used to be in the SCA and wear armor and hit people with baseball bats. Check it out. They do that.
I used to do that.
Hey, yeah. I almost forgot about that. Yeah. But he used to say, when you first start off as a fighter, you're armored from head to toe, and you can only fight for a little while because you get worn out because you're wearing armor. But as you get better and you get better, you can start taking pieces of armor off because you know how to block better. You know that you can get away with having less armor and having less stuff. So as you're a game master and you've got more time under your belt, you'll be able to prep less. I used to be able to walk in with just literally a 3x5 card with some plot points written on it, and knew the things that I needed, and then improvise the rest. I usually try to put a little bit more into it, especially for the show, and then since we paying clients and whatnot. But you can definitely get down to and there are some game masters that literally do no prep, show up at the table, and they're able to run a great game. I am not one of them. I at least like to have about 2 hours worth of prep of just looking over the plot points, looking over the dungeon, especially if I'm running something that's not homebrew. Homebrew, I will put more time into, because just by the nature of homebrew, wanting to get the maps right and so on and so forth, yada yada yada. The other thing came in from Sly Flourish, the Lazy GM's Companion, also filled with just a ton of just different things, different environment locations, how to do point crawls, how to do treasure generators, understanding what exploration is, secrets and clues, recommendations for first level play, and so on and so forth. If you these are great resources for a new for a new game master, for an experienced game master. In my opinion, as someone who's been running games for, has it been how many years? So many. At least 10, 15 years almost. I cannot recommend enough. Always be furthering your own education and getting better. Night Divinity says improvising tends to be more interesting and a lot more fun. Absolutely. I think that like the perfect game is a marriage between improvisation and preparation, right? That's when the really good plot, like you've been building up and then something unexpected happens, but you have like this really good like built up story that you can kind of bring to like a crescendo and go from there.
It's like jazz.
Absolutely, yeah. Although I think, I think I've talked about this before. One of my friends who's a musician says that jazz is just an excuse to play the wrong notes. Which, I mean, sometimes, you know, there are, like, I rewrote the first half of Descent into Avernus because I didn't like it, and there were whole parts that I ripped out and changed and twisted and turned and all of that stuff. And when you get more experience, like, you can definitely do that, and I encourage you to try it. A mesh of hack and slash and RP makes a great game. Absolutely, yeah. Letting, you know, this is one of the things that I've talked about on the stream previously. Throw rocks at your monks. Like, let your players do the cool thing. If your player has a feature and your NPC wouldn't know about it, yeah, make them do the thing that's not great for them. They'll learn real quick when the harpoon comes back through their shoulder. But yeah, so I got this. This is from Guy Schlanders. This is how to creating epic campaigns and their recent Kickstarter that they did, which I backed as well. The practical guide to being a great GM. These are great resources. Again, your journey to become a storyteller and a game master, and is never in a human. To be frank, is never complete. It's always ongoing. Never be too proud to look to others to how you can make improvements, and always ask your players if there's a way for you. We have a feedback on the stream where I encourage everyone to either privately or publicly, you know, put out any kind of feedback, and I always send out feedback surveys to my players after I'm done. It's very important, especially when you are crafting a story and whatnot. You're not crafting it for you; you're crafting it for your players. So. But yeah, pick these up. They're really cool. The practical guide to becoming a great GM just goes into all kinds of things like encounter building, world building. It's kind of a catch-all of everything. There's great, fantastic art in here. It looks really, really good. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading this. It looks like it's got a little bit of everything from like this looks very, very Star Warsy. This looks very, very similar to not a lightsaber. But yeah, I think it's really cool. And they kind of made it, as I recall, it's been a minute since I've looked at the Kickstarter, but it's kind of system neutral, which I always appreciate, because I like to run multiple different things. So anyway, yeah, so there's that. I did, by the way, last thing, and then we'll get started since we're like 30 minutes into the stream. I have finally found, and let me tell you, it has been a sojourn to find this. I have found a module that I am going to attempt to tie into the end of Rise of Tiamat, and take the characters, the players, from level 15, which is where the campaign is supposed to end, all the way to 20. That is my goal.
Heck yeah.
Yep. So I have not run a 1 to 20 in 5th edition, and since we're gonna be so close anyway and have these beloved characters, that is my goal, is for us to do that. So also we have Jabrilopad in chat, and also here's Baylor. We're still doing our preamble because we were rambling and waiting for you to join us. I'm glad that you have. So, speaking of goals, one of the big things that we do here at Open Heart Games is we raise money for children's charity, benefiting our local children's hospital, which is Roanoke Carillion Children's, right here in Roanoke. I feel like I said the Roanoke like 5 times. If you would like to help us out, we would be absolutely honored. We are a little more than halfway to our goal, which is great. We're going to be having a charity marathon, which is coming up very soon. It's going to be on November 5th. That'll be a 12-hour marathon. If you'd like to donate, you can go right here to extra-life.org/team/openheartgames, and also if you're watching live on Twitch here, I will drop it in the chat. There it is. You can donate right there. I am looking for players. We have opened up our signups for to the public. If anyone is interested, we have about 4 seats left. If you're interested, feel free to reach out to me directly. You can reach me at carrington@openheartgames.com. And that's with Carrington with a K and 1 R. So I feel like that's everything. Let's introduce Baylor and jump right into the action.
Well, hello everyone. My name's Jabrilopad in chat. I play Baylor, your lovable, gigantic 6-year-old.
Gigantic 6-year-old. All right.
He's actually like, I don't know, 60 or like middle-aged for a giant.
All right. I want to be able to cap who hates mushrooms. Extra mushrooms. That's what pizza with mushrooms. That's all I'm hearing in chat. For Baylor.
Here's the thing. Jabrilopad loves mushrooms.
Yep.
It's really sad that Baylor doesn't.
You're welcome.
Yep.
Yeah,
One time.
Your fault.
All right. Let's jump to the... I wonder if I can make this work the way I want it to. All right. There's that. And...
Carrington, I'm gonna need a custom spell for me that's invoke phobia.
Summon mushroom. Yeah, there you go. All right, so we last time the players were on a ship, and we're gonna move to this next area. So welcome back, Pip. And the players are on a ship. They see an what was that?
I audibly just chuckled because there's Pip and some polar bears.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you just sort of see something moving out on the ice flow there, and you see four polar bears, and there's
What is what is I have to adjust Pip's token here. Should be able to see that. Yep. It says he's in a very, I'm going to add a word here, a very bad situation. All right, what is Pip's health right now?
That's a good question. How long have I been here?
I'm going to say it's at full right now. Hey, Arpulus, thank you so much for the sub. And welcome.
Arpulus, our favorite.
Absolutely. What is
Yeah, so 57 would
57?
be our,
Yeah, I had you at 15. And your armor class?
my armor class is, let me just get this in there first. My armor class is 16.
16?
Yep.
All right. Bam. There we go. 1 pip. So you have your automaton with you?
Yeah, so if you want to put Sherman down there, Sherman the tank.
How many hit points does he have?
Oh,
9,000.
It's over 9.
Oh, he does do more damage.
Okay.
He does do more damage, but let me double check here. There's cannon, and I'm going to use the flamethrower.
Sure. What is his hit points?
45.
45. Okay.
No, sorry.
All right. No worries.
What is his points? I'm looking for that. Where would I find that? In a while.
It should be under features for that. So if you go into
Got features, and I could see the 3 cannons. So I could create a cannon as an action. I already have one created. Right? And
give me 2 seconds.
No worries. Are you pulling up Hester?
Maybe.
I had a feeling. Hester, for those who are listening at home, I don't want to leave anyone out. Hester was the playtest character that Hitohari was playing in our Curse of Strahd campaign before Open Heart Games had even gone public when we were just doing testing. And he was an Artificer as well.
The answer is 5 times your Artificer level.
For hit
45.
points?
For hit points, it is 5 times your Artificer level. Its AC is always 18.
Got it.
45
18's such a good armor class.
And now he does a lot more damage. So.
Excellent.
So yeah, you see like something that looks sort of like a tank with some kind of sort of eldritch looking wand sticking out of it, and it is blasting big old cones of fire at the polar bears, and I'm kind of running around and like flashing spells and shooting and
All right.
just trying to stay alive.
Let's we've got we got Ratchet and Clank over here, and that's a joke and it's funny.
Solid reference, bro. Solid reference.
Thank you.
Can't make me laugh.
Why not?
I don't know. I
Dead
said so.
inside.
What was
A little of that.
What was that from Baylor?
He's dead inside. That's why he doesn't.
Oh, dang, that's dark. All right, hey, guess what time it is? It's time for the initiatives.
Did we get a rest after the previous encounter to this encounter?
We did a long one.
Important.
Make sure I'm long rested here.
I imagine this isn't going to be a very long fight because there's only 4 polar bears and there's 18 players.
Not 18 players.
There's
Oh,
6
you said
players
18.
today.
Oh, you said
I meant-
18 players. Got it.
Yeah, that's what I said. 18 players.
Please
you
feel free
count-
to add more polar bears if the fight ends too early.
No, continue. I want to continue the story. Because if you count Valdis and Clank, stop it, Carrington.
Baylor, don't give a heck. Keep adding them.
No,
Oh my gosh! No! Night Divinity is like, Baldus, please roll. You're right.
too busy
Hey,
adding
yo,
polar bears.
we can't keep adding to his count.
I'm too busy making jokes. Did we get a count, by the way? Adds to the count? Wow!
Let's go.
Do we have a count? Do we have a
No,
count
this
so far,
number.
Night Divinity? I don't even want to know what it is.
I do.
No, dude, it's pretty high.
Nope, we don't. Okay, we don't have a count yet. Alright, which means it's functionally 0 and also functionally infinity.
No, it's functionally 1 because you just did it.
No, it's Schrodinger's count, dude.
Yeah, it's Schrodinger's count. We don't know. We don't know. We'll never know. Yep. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? 1,
We
2,
figured that
3.
out. 3.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to say the unsung hero, the owl. Don't ask me stupid questions. Crunch, here you go. Also, thanks for the Tootsie Pop. All right. All right, we got a patron.
I rolled 19.
Alrighty, well, Patron's dark vision only sees 1 polar bear.
Nice.
He doesn't even know a Pip's coming. So
Is it
Patron, I guess, is it dark outside Carrington?
I swear, if your token doesn't have dark vision, I'm gonna get mad. It does. It is dark vision. Cool.
It does have dark vision, which is why I can only see a small circle around me, assuming it's nighttime outside.
You're welcome.
Baylor got
You-
the whole map in
You
his sight.
have dark vision. Baylor can see the whole map.
Do you
I
have
have
the?
120 feet worth.
I was gonna say, do you have the 120 Eldritch Sight?
Yeah, Patron should be able to see Pip. He's right here.
No, it is literally. That is not how far my my dark vision goes out too.
You can s-
I should point out that with my cloak of elven kind on, which I made myself,
His dark vision stops here, by the way.
they have disadvantage on perception checks to see.
Yep. All right, cool.
Well, that's good because Zed can't see anything when he needs to use sight.
So this feels like a scene from the show The Terror, and if you haven't watched that, it's horrible. And by horrible, I mean scary.
All I've heard is the
You
lighthouse.
said horrible, right?
Here, let me.
so-
I'm just gonna help out everyone. There we go. Done. Problem solved.
Oh, okay.
Sun! The midnight sun!
I mean, we
Oh, no.
are in the land of Rhyme the Frost Maiden. It is spring because we did bring the sunlight.
Yep.
Night Divinity, I don't think we can be in Canada. There's a whole lot of mean stuff around here. I don't know. I don't know
The
if that's
polar
how
bears
Canada
aren't
works.
like, apologizing and saying things.
Do you? I can go find geese. Let me see if I can find some geese and throw them in there.
Canada geeses.
Yeah.
Canada gooses.
We have polar bear sheep. Zeus? Yeah.
I have heard this is a rumor and obviously a meme, and I'm absolutely kidding. The cobra chickens. My
Yes.
goodness, I love that. The thing that I've heard is once a year there's a ritual where Canadians like pour all of their malice and their cruelty into Canadian geese and then just release them, and that's why they're so nice. That's what I've heard.
Bro, that makes perfect sense.
And that's why geese are the way they are.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's why Canada geeses are
Yeah.
the most evil, and they all send them to America. So
Yeah.
it's perfect.
I want to ask them where their visas or passports are and send them all back to Canada where they belong.
They have teeth on their. Night Divinity says they have teeth on their tongues.
They do.
How dreadful!
They do.
First off,
So do
hard
penguins,
pass.
though. So do penguins, though.
Listen, penguins are adorable. You take it back.
I'm just saying, penguins have teeth on their tongues.
Mm-hmm.
But
If
you don't see
anyone-
penguins chasing random citizens just because they happen to be walking through the park.
Oh, and they're serrated. Sorry, I missed
Penguins
that.
are mad chill.
Yeah.
Geese are just
and
angry.
and Canada gooses do not care what you think.
Yep.
You try to shove them off the golf course, they do not care.
Very nice. All right, so
So 45 minutes and we managed to roll initiative.
you're wel- we're ahead of schedule. Thank you, Warlock. All right, Patron, go ahead.
So seeing Pip running with a large pack of polar bears all around him, I'm gonna look at Pip and scream, "Don't move!" And then I'm going to cast Spike Growth.
I had a feeling.
Hey, he's got range. I remember.
Don't move. All right. How big is this thing? It's gigantic. It's enormous. It's probably like that.
Spell. Hold on.
I think it's smaller than this. Is it 20 feet or 30 feet? $20-foot radius.
20-foot.
20-foot radius, huh?
Go ahead and center that center point right on Pip.
I think that's correct, right? You want it right there?
Yep.
Right one. Oh, yep. Nope, that's right. I was looking at Sherman.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I nailed this. No. I think it's fine. We're calling it good. You casted it. You're concentrating on it. Congrats. It's Valdis' turn. All right. So. All right. I think Valdis is gonna kind of hang out here and see what happens. It's Baylor's turn.
Why, yes. What Baylor would like to do is step right here and We would like to shoot this bear, right? This one right here.
Yep.
The one that I'm. Okay. Just this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would like to shoot him, please,
Yeah, absolutely.
with one of these. Hey, yo!
Yeah, that'll do. For 7?
I guess.
Yeah, 7 damages. Okay.
And then can I do it again?
Yeah.
15 hit.
15 does hit.
4 more damages.
Okay. Okay.
And then that's gonna be my.
That's gonna be your turn.
How far can I make this jump?
Yeah, make an athletics check.
Saving throw. That's not what I want. 16.
16?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kidding, you make it.
I was gonna say, hey, yo. And then I would like to, so I move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then I would like to rage.
As a bonus action,
Yes, sir.
you've raged. Alright. Mordok.
Rajay?
Rage.
Oh, rage. Okay.
Yep.
Except fancy.
Yeah, Baylor's fancy. Mordok, what would you like to do?
I would
I'm-
like.
I think I'm
If I'm
I'm
allowed.
ahead of Mordok.
I would like, if I'm allowed, to reach into the bag of holding and pull out a 6-pack of Cokes.
Alright. Then, then Zed.
But what
Doesn't
we're
say-
really
I'd
gonna
like-
do is, tell one that just got blasted with Elder's Blast that he's not much longer for this world.
Just
What a
fair
terrible
warn
roll.
him you're dead.
What a terrible roll.
It'll take 11, though.
First of all, I'd like to dex check Mordok
Okay.
because we're the same initiative.
Oh, I think it went by... Yeah, it did it alphabetically.
Yeah.
Anyways. Zed, you're up.
Yeah, you win that one, Zed.
Thank you. I'm gonna hop on Valdis's back, and I'm gonna yell, "Let's go!" and point to this one.
Okay. This one's not very smart, so we're gonna move 5, 10, 15 into the sticky stuff. Give me that damage.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Give me to roll for you. Patron.
Oh, sorry.
No worries. You want me to roll it, or you got it?
You can go ahead and roll it.
So it's 64, right?
For that many feet, yes, sir.
Well, I'll take 14 and hate it.
Hey. I'm sorry, 3 nat 1s in that group?
Yeah, but you're also missing the 2 natural 4s as well. It's like that is like average.
Next time.
These things
Part of the course.
Yep. All right. So I have multi-attack, as every monster does, but I also have blood frenzy. I'm kidding. I have keen smell, which doesn't really matter. I am going to try to bite Pip.
I like how the blood frenzy joke is only for me.
Hey, Mordok.
Hey, that's how we welcome back a player.
Oh!
And we got some claws
No.
too.
No.
Cool. I'm getting 1.
Where was that at when you were rolling damage for spike growth?
All right, so we're doing Sentinel of Death Door as a reaction. All right, so the first one's not happening. Pip, please take 11 damage, and then take 12.
Ow!
Creature.
22 total?
Pip's
No,
not
11
30.
12. 23?
Pip's not 30 feet away.
Uh-oh.
Oh, is it only 30 feet?
Yeah.
Got him. Yep.
Oopsie.
All right, so hang on. Take a total of 15, 27.
7.
Okay.
He tried.
Are you telling me that spells have ranges?
That's
What
not
is
a spell, it's an
blasphemy?
ability.
Yeah. I'm notoriously bad at forgetting that spells and things have ranges. It's one of my areas.
Suggestion.
Yes, one of my areas for improvement. That is my biggest GM tip today. Biggest GM tip, double check your range. Just read, it's real easy to gloss over. Double check your ranges. Alright, I have done my thing. Pip.
Okay. Oh, Pip is going to do that rabbit thing he do. Which is to get the heck out of Dodge. So, we're gonna do the rabbit hop, which is 20 feet without provoking attacks of opportunity. And what he's going to do is, sorry, let me find the tab there. I'm going to jump over I don't have to do an acrobatics check. I can't see the squares very well. Got 5 right there. 5, 10, 15, 20, right there.
Okay. So I think you'll still get, what's the rules on that? He landed in it, so he's going to take 2d4?
I would say that's movement into it. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. So you're going to just take 2d4 as opposed to the, 64 you would take.
Mm-hmm. All right, 2d4. Do you want me to? I can roll it.
I got it. This is where I roll 2 4s right here. Nope, just 2 2s. Everything's fine. Just take a 4.
It's taking 4 points. Okay. So
Bunny hop into the blender. Bunny's in a blender.
Yep. Okay. And then once I have done that, I am going to Sherman here. It's gonna go over about 5 feet, and then he's going to explode. So this polar bear right here. I'll explain explosive cannon here for you. The cannon's damage. Oh, sorry. As an action, you can command the cannon to detonate if you're within 60 feet of it. Doing so destroys the cannon and forces each creature within 20 feet of it to make a dexterity saving throw against the spell DC or take 3d8 force damage.
Well, he hates that. So he's got to make a dex save.
Mm-hmm.
He's bad at those. We'll roll 18s. So he's taking half of it?
Half as much on the damage if it's successful, yeah.
You said 3d10s?
3d8.
Oh, 3d8. Okay, so 16. So he'll take 8.
And
So
not to digress, but we're going to digress. Isn't there a game with, kittens in a blender?
There's a game called Kittens and Blender.
Okay, I thought so. I just couldn't quite remember.
Yeah, you have to, you're blending things up for a party, and you have to blend ingredients and not kittens.
Also, R.I.P. Sherman.
He dies?
Oh, yeah, no. I believe, doesn't it? I think.
That would
Yeah,
be...
he explodes.
That would be,
He explodes into his 1,000 burning suns.
Alright, so he explodes, and,
C.P. Sherman.
Yep. And he's gone. Boop. Gone. Alright, and now, anything else from... Is that everything from Pip?
So that's my action.
Bonus action, you jumped.
I jumped. So, yeah, that's me.
Alright, Rillick.
going to. I forgot to mention my ram came in.
Okay. I thought I had to
Yes,
go
like-
go and. Sorry, I thought that I had to go get a giant ram for you.
Yeah, that too.
Okay.
So I summoned a ram, and his name is
Dodge.
Rammy. I don't know. Dodge Ram.
Dodge.
Yeah. I'm gonna just use a ray of frost on a polar bear.
That was me joking. All right, I removed it.
So just the one that's closest to the ship.
And you rolled like 1,000,000. Yeah, you hit
Yeah, oh, 21.
for 4.
Yeah,
All right.
because those 2d8s rolled real well. So.
Nice. 2 and 2. Yeah. Very good.
Mhm.
Anything else for Rillick?
No, that'll be it.
All right. They are used to the cold, but like this is this is extra cold. This is like deep cold. All right, and hey, it's this one's turn, the one that's gotten beat up. Let me tell you something real quick about polar bears, predators, stuff like that. This is my view on it. There are some meals that are worth it, and there are some that are not. So we're gonna go and see ya.
Pip hollers out, "You better run!"
Into the water the polar bear goes. Alright, alright, here, there's stuff over there. We saw this go up. We saw this person get hurt. I don't think we're very smart, though. We're not. We'll roll and see what happens here. We rolled an 8. Okay. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to move into this difficult terrain. What's our movement? 40 feet. Alright, so... And then it's like, ouch. And then we're going to move back. And then out of it. So that was 5, 10. So 10, that was 20, 30, 40...
It loses some of its speed, by the way.
70 and 80. Yeah, I counted this twice. I counted each
Okay.
square as 10. So it spent 30 movement here. So then it's got 70 movement because it's double moving, so it can move like
That thing has a walking speed of 50, Carrington.
40, but it's dashing. It's doing that
Also
thing that
two-
bears do, huh?
Also, 2 spike growths, Brad.
Yes, also 2 spike growths. 7 damage. It does that thing, that bears do, and it like, puts its nose in a hornet's nest, and then it's like, hate that.
I've
All
watched
right.
them do that multiple times.
Oh,
Just saying.
Speaking, something else I saw in the news, and somebody can maybe Google it. I think this was up in Canada or Alaska. Somebody was having a fat bear contest. We were supposed to send in like
Yeah.
pictures of the fattest bear that you saw, which around here we don't see a lot of bears. So
I heard that in my wife's hometown that there was a kangaroo that had escaped and was jumping around through the Canton area a while back.
at Canton, Australia.
No, Canton, Ohio.
Nope.
They have
Can't know.
kangaroo. Well, I grew up in Canton. But it's like they don't have kangaroos there.
Correct. It escaped from
There's-
somewhere.
Into that part of Ohio, people have private zoos. I've driven by them. Around Toledo.
Yep. You're like, what is that for? Don't worry about it. Kangaroo King coming next to a Netflix account near you.
Yeah, there you go.
I will watch every minute of it.
Oh my gosh! If you've not seen Tiger King, it's a trip.
Yes, come to Papa. Come to Papa.
Well, he doesn't know any better, so he's gonna absolutely do that. He's not gonna. Well, we.
No, Carrington, make him smart enough to come to me.
Come to you. It's probably going to. It's going to take some damage because they're not overly smart. So it's going to go through. It's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20. 25, 30, 40. What's my reach? That could matter. Nope, can't quite get there. And then it'll move here. And then here. Alright, it's taking 2 of the D4s. Oh, you already got it. Look at that, 9. I'm not sure why I rolled. I don't know why I'm doing anything. Alright, cool. And now it's back to Patron.
All right.
Sounds like something we do, sadly. Who are you guiding bolting?
The one that's right in front of Baylor.
Okay, that'll hit. God, guiding bolt's such a good spell.
I get 3 for free every day.
So strong. Yeah, clerics are good. What gave you the 3 for free?
Oh, that ain't cleric spell. That is straight up druid.
But what are you getting the 3 for free from?
Circle of Stars druid.
Wow. Yeah, link me that. I want to see it. Because I might make a Circle of the Stars druid. That looks really good.
It's really powerful at early levels.
Sure, yeah. It seems really powerful now. You hit that guy for like 1,000,000 hit points. Valdis. Alright. You wanted to go over there. That guy is definitely over there already. Valdis is going to choose to take you all over here. And... Okay, click on Valdis' token. We're just going to do a bite. That'll hit for 9. Alright, and it's Baylor's turn.
Yes. You see, what I would like to do is step up here, and in my massive bestial form, black has overtaken what would be hands. It looks like black tears are pouring from what should be eyes, but it's a weird, like, amalgamation of what a dragonborn would look like if it was just not a dragonborn anymore. So I would like to step up, and I would like to start doing the bonking.
Okay.
So, start off with, I would like to use my first attack as the 2 claw attacks.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one is a 15.
You hit.
The second one is 14.
It hits.
So for the first one, that's tough. We're looking at 4.
Yep.
For the second one, we're looking at 8. Yep, 8. And then I would like to do a bite attack.
You got it.
And that is a 13.
That'll hit.
For a total of 9 damage, but also I believe I get temporary hit points back.
All right, so you take both of your claws and you run at this bear and like roar at it. Ah! And as you run up, you claw its face and you claw its face again. You dig your claws in deep, and then you, with a giant bite, you bite at its throat. A huge gout of blood covers the snow, painting it red, and the bear falls to the ground dead at your feet. As you have blood all the way up to your forearms and covering your mouth, and you roar into the cold night.
Huge.
Yep.
I would like to take the rest of my movement just to move here, and then like just stare at this bear that's in the middle.
Okay.
I'm gonna make sure that I get 4 temporary hit points before I confirm it, but I'm pretty sure I have 4 temporary hit points.
Sounds good. Mordock. Okay, we're telling.
That's a little better.
We're telling someone they're dead. Who? Which one?
Yeah, the one that's in front of Zed and Aldous.
Okay. Yes. Wisdom. They're actually pretty wise. Not today.
Yeah, I see that.
They have a +1 wisdom. Better than a commoner. That's my baseline. Like, just dude. Rowing into me, cold is the name of night. Hee hee hee. Alright, so... they're better at their dexterous endeavors, for sure. Anything else from Mordock?
Nope.
Zed.
Yeah. There's a bear in front of me.
Truth.
I'm gonna go ahead and punch it in the mouth. And does a 27 hit?
It sure does.
Sweet. 11 fire.
Alright, you punch it in the face, and the fur singes and whatnot, and it collapses to the ground dead.
Beautiful. And I look at the one that's in the spike growth, and I know better than to go in there. So I just look at it and give it my best death stare that I can. You know, being a little old kobold.
Alright. This polar bear is just going to try to run, so it's going to go, let's see, 5, 10. Alright, so 2 rolls from the spike growth.
Yes, please.
Alright, 6 damage. Alright, it's running for its life. Zed, are you going to punch it?
You bet I am.
Yeah,
Is it
we're
running away
eating
from
good
me?
tonight. A bear steak.
Predators usually aren't good for food.
A polar bear. I mean,
Especially bear, they come with a lot of parasites.
Does
Got
crit
a lot
hit?
of fat.
It sure does.
Sweet. About 11 fire damage.
Alright. You do 11 fire damage to it. And Valdis is going to also take that attack of opportunity. And try and kill this bear. And a 12 is enough to hit. As the bear comes running out of the spike growth, Zed punches it, knocks it off balance, and Zed jumps in, grabbing it by the throat, and tears a chunk free and begins eating some of the bear.
You mean Valdis does the whole jumping and biting?
Yes, Valdis does the jumping and biting. Yes. Did I say Zed?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like
Zed
you do.
wants to.
Zed, absolutely, yeah. Name plate for Zed.
You,
I mean,
You just
if you want to
see-
be a
you just
dragon,
see-
that
you just see me imitating it next to her. She's chomping away, and I'm just going.
Yes, Valdis jumps in, not Zed. Correct.
yeah, Zed, if you want to be a dragon, that's what you have to do.
You know, one of these days.
All right.
Karen, I have
Initiative.
a question just in case we run into polar bears again. What's the over/under on you letting me roll my way into a familiar?
I mean, yeah, you could. Night Divinity's trying to.
Polar bear familiar?
Oh, dude, it works perfect with a Goliath.
he's right.
Yep.
Not wrong.
Night Divinity's trying to bribe Zed. Slips Zed gold piece for a dragon fact. Anyways.
So once all the polar bears are you know, like as Zed and Valdis are eating his polar bear, you see Yep, just kind of jumping up and down and doing the whole, rocket the raccoon. Yeah!
Yep, it's you. And you just watch Zed run over and jump into Pip's arms.
Zed, my friend.
It's so good to see. How did you get here?
On a boat.
Oh.
It was more like this weird sort of whale-like thing. It's hard to describe.
Saw a whale? That's kind of cool.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. Those of you that have played Rime and the Frost Maiden, that's a so yeah, he says, yeah, I came on one of those. It's hard to describe. And he comes over and says hi, hello to everyone, and he says, "What are you guys doing up here? I haven't seen you in forever. It's good to see you, but what are you doing all the way up here in the butt end of nowhere?"
Well, we were hunting Vellum the White, and he lost his mask, which was really stupid of him. But I got this site, trance sort of thing, where I saw this tiefling cold in a cave, and we went back to Waterdeep, and turns out that could be possibly an important person, and so we hopped on a boat. Rooster Have-A-Face is the captain of our boat, and we're here, trying to find her.
Cool.
That's like the short version of it.
Yeah. So I just let the party know that I've been tracking dragon cultists, and some of my investigation led me up here into the frozen wastes, and then I got surrounded by things that want to eat rabbits.
Shame
we
that.
helped take care of it.
I really appreciate it. Go pick up the pieces of Sherman.
Oh yeah.
What's left of it.
Poor Sherman.
Beep
Sherman.
boop. Beep beep boop. What's left of Sherman? Beep boop.
Anyways, where do we go now?
Back to the ship. So you say so do you say the captain, LaRusha Half-Face, his part of his face has been frozen and deformed by frostbite that he suffered here, says, we should be approaching the destination soon when we find it, and as soon as we do so, we'll let you know. And
Thanks, Rooster.
he kind of looks at you quizzically, like, that's not my name. All right. So as you are, I'm gonna move some things along. You see a group of fishers are spotted in these are ice hunters. They are spotted in their characteristic boats, and they appear to be rather uncommunicative and rather unfriendly. At the sight of the ship, they pull up their lines and their nets and begin leaving as soon as they see the ship. Begin paddling away to the North Sea as soon as they're able.
That was locals, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Fine, I want to talk to you anyway.
And
How far away are they?
far enough that you could yell to them if you wanted to.
Within 60 feet?
No, further.
Okay, never mind. Well, I mean, I can yell at him. Let me slide away from my mic just a hair. Are you? Do they like look at me?
They do not actually. They pay you no mind.
Do they look like normal sized people?
Yeah, they look like normal humans.
Okay. What's the range on throwing something?
My goodness.
You can always try.
I would like to find the closest ice chunk.
We're
And-
surrounded by them.
Like, huck it as far as possible at them.
Okay.
What do you need? Straight D20, D20 plus, strength, dex, what?
Strength's fine.
Okay. Well, that's gonna be a 14, my friend.
It splashes near them.
Do they respond?
They do not.
Would you allow me to play it again, Sam?
Sure, I'll let you throw it again. They don't seem to pay any mind at all, though.
How about a 20?
Yeah. You hit one of them in the back of the head. He looks at you irritated and continues paddling even faster.
They're what they're afraid of.
Oh, Captain, can we catch them?
We can try. They're much smaller than we are.
Well, I mean, sure, but we've got this pretty quick boat. It's been fast so far, so like we should probably shake a leg. I'm gonna put myself on the boat, by the way.
That's fine. So you don't just get left behind. Oh, bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got voted off.
your
You
dad.
got voted off the island or onto the island.
Yep, absolutely.
I'm gonna ask the captain. What do you? Have you run into these natives before?
I have. But,
Do they
They,
always
uh,
act this skittish?
the ice hunters are, they're very shy people. Keep to themselves. But they're never outright hostile. They would at least point a ship like ours in the right direction, or perhaps offer some advice, or maybe even be interested in trade. But this behavior is most unusual. Most unusual indeed.
I think we should
I
catch 'em.
run into these natives being up here. I don't know how long I've been up here.
How long have the natives been up here? They've been up here for.
No. Have I run into them?
You've not.
I don't know how long I've been up here.
No, you've not run into them.
Okay, I don't know.
No. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab everyone here. Move to the next area. So eventually, the captain continues very carefully picking his way. Eventually, you do lose sight of these ice hunters, but it isn't long until eventually there's no mistaking it. There's no mistaking the silhouette of the massive iceberg that matches the description that you were given, known as Oyavigatan. It has a flattened expanse on one end and rises to jagged peaks at the other. It rises from the sea to form a floating island. The portion of the berg above the water is roughly triangular, with well-rounded corners. The plateau portion of the iceberg rises more than 100 feet above the water, and jagged peaks add another 200 feet above that.
How long do we go between?
I'm going to give everyone a long rest.
You are? Okay.
Yeah. Do you have time to repair Sherman? I don't know how your thing works.
Should I hit the
I'd
button
like to
now or
take
wait?
another one.
Yeah,
Every
you can
long
hit the
rest.
button now. Boop. There we go. Sherman's back.
I do have a question, Carrington.
Yeah.
Did you ever figure out blessings for everyone?
You're gonna make me do this, aren't you? Sure haven't, but I'm sure it might come in necessary, so here we go. Okay. Hello, Chwinga.
Fingers.
Mm-hmm. That's fun. How do I do random Chwingas? Looks like there's... How many are here? A nice one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and... It looks like there are 7, in fact. So I think that's enough for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's enough for everyone. Alright. This is going to be fun because we can do this. We'll start with Patron. Go ahead and roll 1d7. You heard it here. That's right.
A D8 minus 1, or
You can actually type in roll 1d7.
that's right.
All right.
Yeah,
So you
we're in a
get
world without physics.
3, 4. Right? Get those Dungeon Crawl Classics dice out. Yeah. There you go. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you get the charm of the Snow Walker. This charm has 3 charges, and it does these things.
Why did we get charms again?
Patron.
Because I rest casted summon Chwingas, basically.
Mm-hmm. You and your
And-
allies within 15 feet ignore all difficult terrain caused by snow or ice. You can see through heavily obscured areas obscured by snow to a distance of 60 feet. You're immune to the effects of extreme cold. Once the charges have been expended, it vanishes from you. Okay.
Oh, well, I'm popping in one of those immediately just because it's cold out here.
It's not that cold out here.
Allies within 15 feet, huh? All right, so I'm gonna real quick, go ahead and edit Patron's deal here. So you have gained. I'm gonna use this little feather here. This is the Chwinga charm, and you have now 2 left, and also you have and you're gonna get an aura. That's gonna be light blue aura. 15 feet. Bam. There's your aura. Alright. We're just going to do all of them because there's one for each person. Let's go to Mordock next. Mordock, 1d6, please. Rolls a 4. 1, 2. All right. You have the Charm of Snowball Strike. This has 5 charges. As a bonus action, you can expend one of the charm's charges to create a magical snowball. The snowball is magic and is a ranged attack weapon with which you are efficient. It has a normal range of 20 feet, long range of 60 feet, and it deals 1d4 damage of cold. All right. So
Probably not very useful against a white dragon, but that's okay. I'll take it. It's cool.
It is
Look,
cool.
if you hit a 19 or 20 on your attack, you might blind the dragon.
That's true.
It is true. Yeah, so that's fun as a bonus, and it's a bonus action. So, all right, Baylor, Roll a d5.
So it's /R1d5.
/R space 1d5, and it'll roll it for you. Look at that. All right, 1, 3. All right. All right, you have a one-time use of this. This is pretty cool. This is called Charm of the Ice Troll. This charm allows you to use your reaction when you take cold damage to reduce the damage to 0. You regain a number of hit points equal to half the cold damage you would have taken. And when you do so, the charm vanishes from you.
So
That
I'm
one's really good.
resistant to cold damage. Does that mean I take half of the half?
So let's say that you took 30 damage, right, and you're resistant, right? So you would gain, it'd be 15, which you would then reduce. You would gain 7 hit points back.
Okay. Let me make sure that I'm actually. I think I'm just going off of memory, but I'm fairly confident that because of my race, I'm resistant to.
Yeah. Goliaths are resistant to cold. All right. Dropping down to the bottom, we have Zed. I need you to roll a d3.
You need a D4?
Yes, that's what I said. 2. All right, this is the Charm of Bounty. This has 3 charges. As an action, this is pretty cool. You can expend one of the charm's challenges to use the Create Food and Water spell, requiring no components. Once all the charges have been expended, the charm vanishes from you.
Excellent. I'm a mini taco truck.
Yep. All right, and Rillick. I need you to roll a d3? Question mark? 2. All right. All right. So you have a one-time use. This is pretty good for you, actually. Actually, it's pretty good for anyone. You have a charm that allows you to give yourself resistance to cold as an action. Benefit lasts for 24 hours, after which the charm vanishes. Okay.
Not a bad place for it.
Nope. And then we also have Pip. Roll 1d2.
1d2? You want me to flip a coin?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, we'll see. Say slash.
Space.
Slash.
Yep, R1D. Or, so yeah, /R space 1d2. A 1, huh? Alright, so here's this. So this is the Charm of Biting Cold. Has 3 charges, and as a bonus action, you can expend one of the charm's charges to wreathe your weapon in Biting Cold for 1 minute. Until the effect ends, you deal 1 extra d6 of cold damage when you hit with a melee or ranged attack, so you can add extra damage.
So range. Okay, all right.
Yeah, melee or range, so it's pretty powerful.
Oh, is Summon Chwenga only cold stuff, or is it just because where we're at?
He did it. He picked all the cold options, which came in Rime of the Frost Maiden, since we're up north, I assume.
That is correct. That is correct. Yeah, there are more Chwengas, and there are a couple of folks that did like an expanded like Chwenga table. I don't remember exactly who they are, so I'm not going to give them credit for it because I don't want to miscredit or anything like that. But yeah, all right. So everyone has a thing. I never met a dragon that didn't like tacos. Yep. I believe, and if I'm oversharing, I apologize. I believe that Arpulus usually uses tacos. Correct me if I'm wrong. As a unit of measurement when it comes to like evaluating how much something's worth. Is that still true, Arpulus? Like, for example, if something's worth 50 tacos, that's a lot of tacos. Arpulus still does that. Excellent. Yeah, I've told some folks about that exact thing. whenever I'm talking about like, oh yeah, when you're ever evaluating costs and whatnot, that thing's 100 tacos, and that's a lot of tacos.
Big fan of using corn chips.
Yep, corn chips is good. I use board games. So for me, like if someone's like, oh yeah, this right here, this item is $50, that is a board game. So that item had better be worth it.
Sorry, nowadays that's like 8/10 of a board game.
Well, I mean, like I'd say most board games probably float between the 50 to probably 40 to 100 area.
What's Settlers running now?
The collector's edition I think is 75.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see what the Zon says. $47.99 right now for the base game of Settlers, non-collector's edition, a non-anniversary. $47.99.
I thought you said $147.99. I was
No.
like, well, I'm sorry.
Is it still on
what?
sale for Prime Day?
Oh, when is Prime Day?
Or the Prime whatever sale it is?
Yeah.
The Prime early sale that has been going on.
It was like 30% off yesterday.
Yeah. No, I know that a lot of people have picked up a lot of games recently, but I tend to be very selective with my purchases when it comes to board games. So, yeah, $50. That's 20 coffees. All right, so you've sighted Oya Vigaton, and now you've gotten all of your things, and now you are able to approach. So you recognize. Let me see if there's a good way to get here. I always forget that there's like a bunch of like. There's not really a map here until we get there. Just stick with chess. There you go. So as you can kind of see that there's a village on top of here that is a kind of a collection of like tents and things that sit at the center of the island. There's on top of a large ice shelf where the ice hunters beach their boats and whatnot. So the ice shelf rises a few feet above sea level and is littered with enormous cracked bones, including ribs that are much taller than a human.
Do they look humanoid or do they look like not humanoid?
Who is proficient with nature?
Heyo.
These bones mostly seem to have come from whales or walruses or large seals. So I'm going to say that the ship itself kind of pulls alongside this, and Captain Rashuda says, "We're going to stay a little. We're going to stay on the frost shimmer rather than marching up the plateau. I am not comfortable leaving the ship here and allowing us to be stranded if something should go wrong. But we will come. Just signal us. Build a fire. We'll know that way."
Seems like a perfectly reasonable decision for normal people.
Okay. And so as you approach this, this big area where there are all these bones, do you want to do anything with them or continue moving?
Are they just like laying around or what?
It's just a pile of bones on the side of this massive thing.
Can I see if there's any teeth marks? Or I could tell what killed them.
Yeah, there are massive. There's a massive bite radius from this predator.
I mean, I think I know, but do you want me to do a check?
There are also some humanoid bones, like human bones, in the pile as well that have the same bite marks as well. If you want, you can go ahead and roll a nature check. Yeah, this is probably a dragon.
I would look at the party and be like, I think we're in the right place.
Question,
Where-
Carrington. Is there a large one that looks like it could be femur-esque, but like big?
Not really, no. What are you trying to do here?
I was gonna make a club out of a bone because that sounds super metal.
There's a rib that you could definitely do that out of.
Is it like thick enough that it's not just like swinging a bone 2x4? I mean, that's still super cool.
You're gonna have to carve it a little bit.
I want it.
So there's no bone carver's tools, but could I use my wood carver's tools to make that for him?
Yeah, probably.
I got you.
Look, this is why we cool, homie.
How long does that take?
I don't know. We'll figure it out later.
We're gonna do that. You're gonna do that later. You're not gonna have it ready for whatever battle you all get into.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I want a super metal.
No, I'm just gonna sit down in the cold. I got 3 charges of less than. Don't feel cold.
I'm just saying.
for 3 hours.
I mean, we could just hang out for a few days, right?
Yeah, I mean,
While you carve a bone.
honestly, right? We can
So
do that.
speaking of that, does anybody
Montage.
have any,
What was the question, Pip?
does anybody have any like healing potions or something? Because I'm hurt.
You took a long rest.
Oh, we took a. Oh, okay. So that should
Yep.
take me back.
Yep.
I have a horn. Will that help with the
No, we're good. We're good. I'm
with
fine.
the
about
carving? That's the tools that I'm proficient with.
Yeah, and I might be able later to give it some magic.
Hey yo,
Yeah. There you go.
That's what
infusions.
artificers do.
tool proficiency's none.
Oh.
That's tough, buddy.
Well, you win some and you lose some.
Yeah, you know, you can't be proficient with everything. All right. So the top
Listen,
of
Night Divinity, I'm trying to have a nice thing here. Don't ruin it.
the
for me,
carving of the
please.
mushrooms into it.
Don't ruin that for me, please.
Listen, Patrick gets to pick how it's carved because he's the one carving it. So I'm not saying anything.
It's too late, says Night Divinity. All right, the top of Oyavigaton is not level. It is a plateau. The ground is uneven. It's fractured by narrow ice chasms that divide, and it's divided into rills, snowdrifts, and ridges that are larger than a human, sculpted by sea spray and wind. The ridges block the view of the village until you are about 200 feet from the nearest shelter. The first sight that greets you as you emerge onto the plateau is a row of 10 corpses frozen into a wall of ice.
Now, Carrington, I have a question. We're here for an object, right?
And a person.
Would you say that how far is 1,000 feet?
But why, though?
Don't worry about it.
I typed it into chat. That's Oyavigaton.
It's 2/10 of a mile.
Vigaton.
It's three football fields.
So how big would you say this iceberg is in total?
Big enough that you could cast that spell and do stuff if you wanted to. Why don't you link the spell and we'll check the range?
That's not bad.
Oive Gigiton. Oh, it's a big one. Okay, that's how Zed's gonna.
it's
it's a big one.
Wobbler mangrove.
Yeah. By the way, I did not realize what mangrove trees were until I googled them because they were like featured in the first part of Call of the Netherdeep. Well, at least the first part that I ran out of the Explorer's Guide to Wildemount. I ran Unwelcome Spirits, and I googled. I was like, oh, what is this? As part of my prep, and they're really cool. They're like the big trees that have like all the roots that go into the thing. Anyways, here's my mangrove. Yeah, this is the welcome to the Distractable channel where we talk about anything.
I will give a Marvel no prize to anybody who can tell me where that line comes, or even the piece of intellectual property where someone says its name is blank, but it's pronounced throat wobbler mangrove.
You got me, boss.
If anybody could come up with it, anybody in chat?
No,
knows
no,
what-
no googling. That's cheating.
You got me beat. I don't know.
No clue.
We'll continue. So let's do the locate object. If no one has said anything, someone says Men in Black 2. I don't think that's accurate.
No, it's Money Python. I'm just trying to remember what to get.
It's a Python skit.
Yeah, I just don't remember which one.
Is it the one with the dead parrot?
Yeah.
No?
I have to look and see, but yeah.
All right, anyways. So,
Definitely Monty Python.
locate object has been cast. You are familiar with this object?
It's been described to us. Does that count as being familiar? This is where your interpretation of what familiar is matters.
Yep. I'm using my favorite GM's tool, Google.
It's pronounced Google.
Oh, sorry. Hang on a second. Let me just Google
Is it Google?
Michael Google.
It's the Google. It's the Google machine.
The Google must do this. Wondrous item tends to do this. You do not detect the item within 1,000 feet of you.
That's a good idea.
Sad day.
Um,
Well, was hoping that would work.
Yep, unfortunately is not here. There are 10 corpses here. You detect you are able to tell. Someone roll me history.
I'm sorry. Did you say 10 corpses?
Yes, 10 frozen corpses in the
Oh,
ice.
okay. Got it. That's a lot better than just like 10 random corpses. laying on
Perfect.
the ground.
Zed knows this. So there are 3 warriors standing here, frozen into the wall, that are in the dress of Luskar, which is Luskan, which is where Makath the Crimson came from, and it is the headquarters of the Arcane Brotherhood. There is also a dwarf and 6 ice hunters. They have been perfectly preserved in the ice, making it impossible to tell how long they have been here.
Is this just outside, like the cave entrance?
This is outside, like you're going up into where, like you have found. I guess there's not really a good way to describe this because they don't actually have a map for it. Like it's like a big, it's like a big iceberg, and you have come to the side of it, and where all the bones were, and there's a crack down the middle of the iceberg, and you're able to kind of walk up the crack into where the plateau, the top part of this is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and these bodies are just hanging out at the top of it.
They're frozen into the wall. Let me see here. I believe they're frozen. 10 corpses. There are 10 corpses that have been frozen into a wall of ice. So the corpses are all standing up next to each other in a wall of ice and corpses.
Does it look like that the wall was part of the iceberg, or does it look like the wall is like added on to the iceberg?
It looks like it's added on top of.
Oh boy. That's precarious.
Night
Is
Division
there a
says, "Good."
Is there a tiefling in there?
There's not. There are 3 Luskar warriors, a dwarf, and 6 ice hunters.
Point of order, Patron. How often can you cast that thing that you cast?
As long as I have spell slots.
So you can cast that like every single day?
Yes.
Okay. Sweet.
Night Divinity says that's one heck of a way to stand guard.
Mm.
Woof.
It also makes me nervous of what could possibly have done that.
Yep.
You hate to see guards freeze up on the job.
It's true. It's true. You don't want that at all.
All these guards nowadays just
You've
Yeah.
told
with
us.
cold feet.
So one of the things I recommend as a game master is reuse your maps. Highly recommend that. I actually use I love this feature. It's one of my favorite features from Roll20, which is the Transmogrifier feature, which allows you to import maps and stats and monsters and all kinds of stuff, pictures, photos, notes, everything from other campaigns that you have. It's really cool. I highly recommend that you make use of it because it's another tool you can have in your toolbox. And there's really no reason to to remake something unless you have to. So if you don't have to, don't.
You find that this is fine to transition, but you find that Zed's walked up to the wall of ice, and is kind of inspecting it just a little bit more.
Let's see if my book knows what's going on here.
All right, chat. It's your favorite time.
It's that
Asked for
time.
it. I role played it. Give me a number, 1 to 100.
83. Snap 83 from Night Divinity.
Snap 83.
Mhm.
If someone else wants to throw a number in there, it'll be the backup in case I've done this one before.
Arrington, is that feature of the Transmogrifier, is that, do you have to have a premium subscription?
I think that you might have to have a premium subscription to use it. Let me look and see what it says when I click on Transmogrifier. Transmogrifier. It might be. I don't know. Right now it's still in. It is still. I think it's still in beta. But yeah. Arpulus also said +1 for the Transmogrifier. Anyways.
Okay.
You watch Zed, he's like now sitting in the snow, just like big old book on his lap, flipping pages.
No. I don't have anything that would tell me specifically about this wall of ice, but all dragons have some sort of magical ability. They vary race to race, so that might be something to think about.
Something to puzzle on.
So, you think that the same thing that did this to those seals back there in your new club might have frozen these guards?
Bites. Some dragons can breathe cold. I do it sometimes myself. Maybe. We'll have to stand guard. I mean, there's forever the noise of come hither going on in the air. I know you can't hear it, but it's driving me nuts. So it could be driving a dragon nuts and then making things cold and biting people. Who knows?
Yeah, Yep.
It's possible.
The Drakhorn, by the way, the call of it seems very far away.
I can still hear it. Doesn't make it any better.
That is true. All right, so that's where we are. How would it be affecting Valdis? That is a great question. Valdis does seem to be pretty upset about it. Like, it seems to be like almost like, if you've got a cat, when they get the zoomies, it's kind of like that, where like it's that moment before the zoomies happen, where like the cat is looking around. It's almost like she is hearing something from somewhere else, and she's trying to figure out where it's coming from.
Oh, hey, I know this map.
Yep.
Yeah. Maybe if we explore a little bit more, we'll get a better idea of what we're going up against. But I wouldn't rule out a dragon.
Yep. The village sits. The village sits. So here's the thing. There isn't a map. I want to describe this real quick. There is not a map for this particular section of the module. You don't need one. You could run most of it theater of the mind. I like maps, especially when characters can move around and whatnot. And also, if you have a map that's close, like this one's snowy, it's very tribal-esque, and gets across what I'm trying to get across. But it's not exact because and I'm just peeking behind the curtain here. There are supposed to be structures made of ice. I'm going to remove those, and everything's just going to be made of these tents. So no ice structures. So here we are. The village sits in a sheltered spot in the center of the iceberg. When the wind blows, which is most of the time, the snow whips off of the surrounding drifts and surrounds the settlement in a swirling shroud of white. There are roughly 20 structures that make up the village, divided between the snow block shelters, which are the ones that are supposed to be like igloos. But instead, I'm just going to make them all. They're all yurts of various sizes, made from seal and walrus skin that are stretched over whalebone frames, making use of all the things they have around them. These structures are mostly one-room family dwellings, but some of them are a little bit larger, some of them are a little bit smaller. And it seems like this one in particular seems to be... I'm on the wrong layer like I usually am. Excellent. These right here, this one right here seems to be one where they actually are keeping some of the other stuff. It seems like they're just making use of that as kind of a storage area. It's surrounded by fishing nets and heavy ropes and harpoons and things like that. Actually, we'll make it this one over here. This one will be it, and I'll mark it as such with a circle. We will make it into a circle, and we will make it purple because purple's my favorite color, and I do what I want. There we go. And then this one over here is the one that is. This one will be the one for the chieftain. So these two kind of stand out because they're a slightly different color, and I can draw a circle around them easily.
Carrington, is this nighttime or daytime that we're here?
This is going to be it's still very difficult to see, but do you need to be able to see?
I mean, is it difficult to see because of snow?
All right, fair enough. There you go. So this one appears to be the meeting hall. That's what we'll use that one as. And this one over here is it seems to be another one that seems to kind of stand out a little bit. So you have a couple of, as you approached, there are several dogs that begin barking, and several of these ice hunters approach you with their with spears and whatnot. The chieftain approaches. They have names. I've got names. Don't you worry. I've got names, but I appreciate it. Someone was asking immediately, "Ooh, can I make names?" They approach you. They have their spears out, and they begin speaking in a dialect that you do not recognize. What do you do?
You said they're speaking in a dialect we don't recognize?
No, you don't recognize it. Unless someone speaks Uliak.
Or has comprehend language?
Does the wizard have that?
Or
He
tongues,
does
which is
not.
on my list, but I never take it, so.
What level is tongues?
Looks like third.
It's
Yeah.
so good, though.
Yeah.
All right. So what do we want to do?
Fair.
We can take a long rest and I can get a spell.
I'm not even that mean. This is my approach.
We
My approach
took
is
a long rest. Grab
Yeah.
a spell.
my approach is if someone's got a spell on their spell list, you can have them burn another thing to get it back. So how many channel divinities do you have?
2?
If you burn one, I'll let you reprep the spell as tongues, move things along.
Okay. Let me mark that.
Because you have the thing where it allows you to burn a channel to get a spell back, right?
Yeah, but it's only first or second level spell.
Sure. I'm letting you get a third. You're welcome.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with that because that way it at least gives you a little bit of yeah.
Okay, let me change my spell list. Edit spells. Moon spell. Oops. Yeah. Oh geez, now I can't find it.
No worries. All right, so you have okay, let's see here. Tongues 5e. Tongues from Roll20. Divination cleric. Yeah, it's a divination spell.
What level? Because I'm not seeing it.
It's
I know
third
I have
level.
it.
It's third.
Why can I not find it?
Type it in. Yeah.
Ah. I'm just trying to.
You have to have a
Make
small
sure.
clay model of a ziggurat,
Okay,
which I think is entertaining.
there we go. So I have to unprepare a third level spell. Boy, I'm not. Third. There we go. Oh, do I not want to take that? I'll take that, and then I'll immediately burn a spell slot. Yay.
There we go. We got people. The chieftain, and the shaman, tribal shaman, approach you, surrounded by their tribal warriors, and fellow ice hunters, and they say so. Tongues is really good, by the way. Lasts an hour. It grants you the ability to understand a spoken language that you hear, and whenever you speak, Any creature that knows at least one language and can hear the target understands exactly what it says. So tongues is pretty cool. I like it because it allows for 2-way communication and one spell for you to just solve all of your communication problems. It's great. Anyways,
I'd prefer to have a babblefish, but that's okay.
All right. So, it's like I like how they solve the I like how they solve the that problem in Farscape, where they have the translator microbes.
Yes, you're correct. It's Farscape.
Yeah, they just solved that problem literally like in the first episode. I'm shrinking everyone down. Everyone's too big while we talk. So here we are with our people over here, and they immediately come up and they ask, "Outsiders, you've come to our village. Why are you here?"
We are here. Since I'm the only one that could talk, great. I'm the face. Wonderful. We are here seeking. What's her name? The tiefling. Help me.
Macbeth the Crimson. I got you.
Macbeth.
Macbeth the Crimson. Got it.
Yeah, Macbeth the Crimson. We heard she came this way many years ago. We've been sent to find her.
We have not. We are a very remote village, and we do not get many adventurers or explorers, or even tradespeople. We are but we're a remote people, and we have not seen this person which you describe, a red tiefling. We have not seen her.
I would hate to think that our journey through the cold has been in vain. However, we do have... Whoa, we just zoomed. Except for the torch.
Zoom.
We have brought dinner, though, and we'll get some polar bear meat. I'll show them some polar bear meat, so that we might at least share food. There's also rumors, and not rumors, but they distinct indications that there's a dragon here that we also wish to deal with.
Well,
be grateful. You hopefully would be grateful for.
If only we had a dragon for you brave adventurers to deal with, but there, alas, our dragon that you say was slain many years ago by other by frost giants. In fact, the bones.
Insight check.
There it is. The
I was
bones.
gonna say the same thing.
The bones that you found upon the beach are all that remains of the creature.
Oh no,
Would you, for the
Really-
love of God, insight check them?
Rilik's
Yeah.
gonna lean over and say, "Hey, tell him we'll go kill that dragon." If they
I
want
need
us
to-
to. Get it? Because you just told him that.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, I
Oh,
just
Yeah.
let's
I just created an insight check.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna roll.
Liars, pants on fire.
Absolutely, just liars, pants for hire. They're lying. Yes. Old White Death. Yep, slain by frost giants. They brought the dragon low and
by frost giants.
Indeed, yes.
Must have been many a frost giant to slay such a old, ancient, wise dragon such as what's his name?
Ariathor, the old
That
White
knocked
Death.
out the
Yes,
nightmare
yes,
and
yes.
Yes. Must have been quite a horde of mere frost giants.
Yep. Yeah, on the water side of the ice shelf, is all that's left of the monster. Yes, we
Those
Do you
definitely
want to
look
just
like.
straight up ask him why he's lying, or?
Yeah, those definitely had the looks of whale bones to us, and we've seen more than one dragon. So basically, I'm calling you out. You're just full of it, dude.
Hmm. Well, you notice that
I'm
as
not. I'm not sure why you're so. We'll deal with your dragon problem. This was not the first. Not be the first dragon that we've encountered, and oh no, we're not moving into the center of that.
well, it's
Just
easier
put us
for
right back.
it's easier for me to move you into the center than to move all of them. They are kind of pull you into this and kind of surround you. You notice that Rillick.
Boy, there's gonna be a whole bunch of dead natives here unless they.
Bro, I'm telling you.
Rillick, Baylor, and just those two gets very very scornful looks.
So as I get more and more uncomfortable with the fact that people are surrounding me, I'm not raging, but the tips of my fingers start getting ever so slightly darker.
Pre-raging?
Yeah, it starts growing up my hands a little bit. My eyes start to darken a little bit. I grow just a touch, and I get just a little bit more angular as I start to slide into that rage form. And I will find the biggest, meanest looking one and just lock eyes and not look away.
I'm used to the strange looks, but I'm slowly rolling a tiny ball of bat guano in my hand.
Oh, let's go, buddy. Let's go. Let's go.
We know what
Let's
that means.
go.
Dueling fireballs.
Let's go.
I need everyone to make. Go ahead. What was that again?
I said I got a fireball too. So
I need someone to please make a. I need someone to please make a perception check.
Oh, y'all don't want it to be me.
I'm pretty good at this.
Okay.
By the way, I want to talk about this. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I have this feature called Flash of Genius, where I can aid that. I can use my reaction. So when making an ability check or a saving throw, I can use one of the, and it adds +3 to the roll.
Okay. So you so Patron's kind of looking around, and Pip points out that that a few of the ice hunter villagers are kind of slipping away, and they are going into this meeting hall.
Since I'm close to that side, Patron, do you point that out to me? I don't want to metagame.
Yeah. I'll give you the hand signals and the shoulder nod.
I will start just air quote casually walking in this direction. Is this person the leader?
This is one of the leaders. Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna almost entirely ignore them as I start walking like what's effectively right here to get a look into.
Yeah, the one that you like as you start walking in that direction, the one that was the biggest, meanest one that you locked eyes with just puts his hand on your chest and just like
We're
pushes...
rolling initiative, everybody. We're rolling initiative.
Oh, Lord.
As he puts his
Here we
hand on
go.
my chest, do I get a surprise round? Because I'm for sure absolutely housing this guy.
So have we graduated to murder hobos yet?
Not quite yet.
Either that, or if Mordok sees him put his hand on me and would like to warn him, I will give that concession.
Mordok.
Otherwise, you're about to throw down.
Oh, I'll like. What was? Say that again, Baylor. If I see what?
So, if you see him put his hand on me, as soon as he started reaching, I would stop moving, square up, and look at him, and kind of.
I'll tell you to hold. But let me try to talk to these guys, and I'll go back to the chief. It's like, so why are you lying to us? We're not here. We're not your enemies.
It seems that at this time so the chieftain who introduced himself, he says, I am Barking Seal, and this is our shaman, Bone Carver. Bone Carver comes up and she says, it seems as though we have quite the test of metal on our hands, and it appears that there is a fair amount of angst between these two young people. She says, I suggest a contest of wills. Your friend here, the cursed one, she spits on the ground.
At me?
No, just off
Thank
to the
God.
side. Against, because she can see the fact that your eyes and your fingertips are black.
Mm-hmm.
Against our champion, Orcahart.
Is that the guy in front of me?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, go
I'll
ahead.
tell
Fred.
Baylor you have been challenged.
Throughout this whole excursion, I've kind of had just like a shabby, almost shirt, with just like a little leather belt holding it like onto my body. Just at the very thought of destroying this little fellow right here, I will walk back over here and start taking the shirt off, and setting it down and removing all of the unnecessary things that I carry around because I'm the big dude that carries stuff.
Sure.
And as I take my
Taking
shirt
his
off,
shirt off.
as I take my shirt off, you can see the tattoo on my body writhing and spinning around my torso and spinning around my arms. And naturally, as a massive, just very robust Goliath, the muscles underneath are rippling. I don't even say anything. I just stand there and stare at him.
I'm moving Patron and everyone back into just kind of like, hey, we're going to watch this
hold
thing
on.
play out. Go ahead.
So there's so I look at Mordok after he says that. I was like, so is there to be a contest?
Yes, there's to be a contest.
All right. So haven't used this for anything cool yet. However, I would like to make a fighting pit in the middle of this camp.
Okay, I'm going to point out, please, would you mind reading to me
Point to the
aloud the name of the spell that you're attempting to use?
Homie.
I mean, ice, dirt, snow. Come on.
Please point to the dirt.
Show me the dirt.
I will
me the
allow
dirt.
you to do so if you can find the dirt.
Dirt or snow.
One I will allow you to mold the earth.
One dirt, please.
Yeah,
Thousands and
one-
thousands and thousands of feet below the ice that we currently stand.
Yeah, it just starts bubbling up to the surface. So you're able to, from like the gravel and things that have collected here, you're able to form a pit for them to fight in, and that's going to be the circle area right here. So here's Baylor, and we're gonna remove because he's not raging yet.
Nope.
Not yet. And Orcahart steps forward, notes that you've taken your shirt off, and he just like has on his like fur. He has on his like fur coat, and he just like flexes and like busts out of it. and this dude is ripped.
I'm not even a little intimidated.
Yeah, parka. Thank you. Just like flexes and breaks. It just like turns into threads and just like poof. He picks.
Sparkling like General Armstrong.
Thank you for recognizing what I was going for. I appreciate that. Yeah, absolutely, sparkling as well. He picks up a sled and is gonna use it as a shield.
Size-wise comparison, I'm significantly larger than him, correct?
He is actually, like, looking directly at you. He's a big guy.
I'm like 8 feet tall, dude.
He's looking up to you then, just slightly. He's like 6 feet. Orca heart, man. Heart orca.
So are we, like, officially in let's do this thing, or are we still, like, showing off and doing fancy stuff?
The shaman says, no interference. No magic. We must allow the ancestral spirits to guide our champions to victory.
I'll relay that to everyone.
I will slowly start chuckling, just a completely unhinged chuckle as I grow into my bestial form. She said ancestral. This is what it is, yo. So I grow into my bestial form.
Is that you raging?
Yes.
Okay.
And then, are we ready to roll initiative? Because I'm ready to go.
Also, he's gonna spit as well onto the ground.
Was this Arrakis?
No, he's convinced that like you're turning into like a were monster from their perspective. They're convinced that you're cursed.
I mean, they're not entirely wrong.
Mm-hmm. But fortunately, he's brave. All right, initiative time.
And of course, he has multi-attack and blood frenzy.
He
Of course
does.
it's a 9.
He does, in fact, have multi-attack. He does not have blood frenzy.
Shocked, I say. Shocked.
All right, hang on a second. We got to throw in some good old-fashioned music here. Let's do. This is a good one.
Is initiative just the two of them?
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right.
And Carrington, I'll be keeping my eyeballs on the shaman. If she tries to cast a spell, I'm going to blast her with something.
I will point out that I followed the rules and did not cast Armor of Agathis on myself.
Noted.
This is where I wished I was the new version of kobolds, because they have this, like, instead of grovel, cower, and beg, they have like this draconic screech that they can do, and it just I just want to cheer for my buddy and give him advantage on his first
I'm
attack.
sorry, did you say draconic screech?
That's not the name of it, but it has, like, you have this, like, instead of grovel, cower, and beg, it's like something about being a dragon and like cheering people on, like letting out a loud screech or call, and it gives your allies advantage for a turn.
I just imagine like a new kobold sees an old kobold, and the old kobold is like, "I'm gonna use gravel, cower, and beg." Oh no! And then like the other one's like, "Huh, that's the old way." Sits down. Ree!
I mean, like, it's just like I think because it's the same effect, but it lets you role play. Do you want to just like be a distraction, or do you want to like cheer on your party, like, let's go to battle, that sort of thing. Like, it gives you more roleplay flexibility.
It is, in fact, called Draconic Cry.
Nice.
That's what it is.
All right, Baylor, do your worst.
Did you roll initiative?
I did. Yeah.
Oh, you have a 6.
Aye.
So he is looking at the mat 10 feet away from me, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I am going to tail attack him.
Okay.
We're just going to get right into it.
Yeah, let's begin.
So, how's a crit for the first hit?
Yeah, that's for the first one. Yeah, why not? uses Tail Whip. It's super effective. Okay, yeah, I'll...
So 7 total damage, which is kind of weak.
Weak sauce.
But for my next attack, I will close the distance and then take 2 claw attacks.
Okay. That'll hit. Yeah, why not?
5 damage and 8 damage, respectively. So a total of a number that my brain won't do right this minute. 5. I have to do it on my fingers. I'm terrible right now.
I got it. We're good. All right.
I'm just so excited that I get to like one-on-one somebody with my barbarian. This is like the dream for anyone who's ever rolled a barbarian. Is just a fight pit.
Yep. I'm also a brute, so he's gonna take the sled and try to smash you in the face with it. Does a 17 hit?
It does, however, and this is gonna be very fun for me. I'm gonna use my tail.
Yep.
And roll a d8 and add it to my AC.
15.
I have a 15 AC.
Okay.
R/1d8. Did I do that backwards? /R?
Yeah, it's /R.
He definitely does not hit.
He does not hit. All right, so that was my first attack.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just for that attack, right?
Yes.
All right, cool. We're gonna go ahead and hit you with a spear. Nope. All right. The 1v1 is done. It's now you.
I would like to start off with 2 claw, or actually, so I don't remember if I had this conversation. If I did, I apologize. But with a bite, can I turn that into a grapple?
I think so. It's an attack. Let me look if grapple works. Grapple's always been complicated.
The new D&D Next rules are delicious for grappling.
Thank you, Google. Grapple. So, I believe it is an action.
Okay, never mind then. I'm just gonna start off with the old classic 2 claw attacks.
Hit him in the face. Got it.
Yeah, 13 doesn't hit probably.
It does not.
Oh man, 25 hits, but I wanted that crit.
Who doesn't?
So just 9 damage.
Okay, casual 9.
Yeah, it would have been a lot more, but you know, whatever. And then I will use my second attack. Could I do 4 claw attacks per turn?
How do your claws work?
So, claws. Each of your hands transforms into a claw, which you can use once on each of your turns. It says once on each of your turns. So
you're making 2. So you're going attack. If you have a bonus action bite or something like that, then you can bite.
Well, so here's the thing. Once on each of your turns, when you attack with your claw using the attack action, you can make an additional claw attack as part of the same
You can make up to 3 attacks with your claws.
Okay, so then I will just use the third, my quote-unquote third attack, my other actual attack as a bite, like usual.
Okay.
12 doesn't hit.
12 does not hit. All right, hey, guess whose turn it is? Surprisingly, it's mine.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, we're going to try...
I actually have 3 rages left, by the way.
Oh, I was doing how many rounds you've been in Rage.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yep, so this is round 3. So now then... He does have a big old pile of hit points. We're going to use Shield Bash again.
Nope.
12 doesn't hit. All right. Cool. Nope. Does a 19 hit?
We shall see, my friend. No.
All right, back to Baylor.
So as I start getting, is intimidation a free action, or do I have to use an action to try to intimidate him?
I mean, it would be an action.
There's gonna be no effective advantage given to the fact it's just kind of a
yeah.
show
Yeah,
thing.
you do your fluff thing.
So basically, because I bit him last round, I would imagine I'm still very close to him. So I'm just gonna let out a really deep, bellowy roar as I rear back with my first of 2 claw attacks. The whole time staring him straight in his face. I haven't looked away from him the entire time.
So you're just like reeling back, and then you're just gonna like grab him.
To start off with, I'm gonna hit him with the 2 claw attacks. Or I'm going to attempt to hit him with the 2 claw attacks. 25 for the first one.
Absolutely.
And then 24 for the second one. So
Yep.
we'll roll damage for those. 6 and 4 for a total of 10. And then I will bite him for a natural 20.
Wow.
For a total of 16 on that one. So a total of 26 damage.
Yeah, you claw him, and you actually like knock him down over here. Anything else?
No, I'll actually stay here and let him come to me.
He's gonna stand up and kind of like swing around and like have his spear up. And I need for Mordok to make a perception check.
Okay. I was getting ready, coffee ready for morning.
No worries. That's persuasion.
Oops.
One
What's
down,
the difference? Perception. There we go.
I'm pretty sure that the answer is yes.
Hey, Patron, if she cheats, you want to cheat, buddy? By the way, metagaming pigeon.
Oh, is that the metagaming pigeon?
Yeah.
So you see that she helps Orca Heart to his feet, and also it seems that she whispers some kind of spell to him.
I
Are you banishing her?
Let's go!
I was gonna say I'll counterspell it,
Can't
but
even-
banishment's cooler.
We're going with banishment. Wow.
For your sins, you have been banished.
All right, here comes that roll. Here. How did this happen to me?
Oh!
Made my mistakes.
Oh!
All right.
So she just poofs out of existence.
Boop.
I'm pretty sure that breaks any concentration, right?
Yeah, hang on. We're I am getting my healing, so haha. So he takes his healing. We're gonna roll. It's probably gonna be. I'd say it's 2d8 plus 2.
So wait, I do want to counterspell the heal if that's happening.
I mean, it's 10 hit points. I've been absolutely
I'll be.
housing this guy.
You'll
so
be
Eh.
fine. You'll be fine.
Fine.
I've been absolutely. He has not hit me once.
Yeah, but
Knock on wood. So let him cheat and still lose, dog.
All right, are you prepared? He runs at you. Oh,
So-
hang on. Stretched him
What
out.
was
Hold
that?
on.
Yeah.
Hold on. She said no spells, correct?
Yeah. Well, she's not here now.
Yeah, but she said no spells, correct?
Correct.
Did I notice him banish her?
No, you're so focused on Big
that
Hoss there.
That tracks.
They have to cheat and still lose. Yeah. They immediately start booing and throwing snowballs at Mordok.
Throw a snowball back at him.
I could, but I'll not. I'll say, she broke the rules. She'll be back.
Yep. Patchen, you think better of this because there's no
There's
you're
no
gonna
magic
win.
involved. There's no magic involved.
You're as you begin trying to use this bond, the chieftain steps forward and says, "There will be no interference with this, with this match. That was our agreement."
I believe our agreement got broken.
And then you broke it. And for that, she paid.
Well, she's not dead, but she's not here.
He's just gonna sit this one out.
Yeah, he looks at you, his eyes narrow, and he says, "Do these noble adventurers need more trickery to win this fight? Or can they not do so on their own?"
We have not aided our competitor.
what?
You, however, have aided yours.
You know
For
what?
that, she paid the price.
I propose a contest with you, and I pull out a drinking horn.
Oh, let's go.
What is that?
As far as they know, I just eradicated her, and she's gone forever. They have no idea. They've never seen a.
You should
banished
probably
spell.
smooth that over before they start housing everybody else, and I don't get my moment of glory.
He takes his spear, raises it above his head, and stabs it into the snow. And he reaches out with one hand.
Let's go.
We have 2 contests going, ladies and gentlemen. This is
why not?
lit.
Double contest.
This is lit.
Yeah, let's make a con save.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Do I get to pick what plane she goes to? The
No.
harmless plane.
No, it's just a harmless demiplane. I usually have them go somewhere.
I was gonna send her to Barovia. That's harmless now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, as far as we know.
Strahd's not around yet, is he?
Also, saying Barovia is harmless just because Strahd's gone is like saying, a dog who lost one of its 12 teeth can't bite you.
It's like saying Australia's harmless because there's not a war on right now.
Yeah, or Afghanistan is harmless because
There's not a war on right now.
there's no war. on
Sure. I think we got close enough to the real world politics for this session. We'll move on.
Sure.
Yeah, I will have. I'm trying to find see if there was actually a tribal leader, but it's. You know what? I actually think it might be better this way. So I'm just gonna roll it. He's not great at this. All right, he is rolled, and he has failed. All right. Anyways, back to the gladiator. The gladiator is gonna make his attacks, I guess, right? Because it was technically his turn, and then patron and stuff, and then here we are. Oh, sorry, not gladiator. Orca heart. If it'll let me open up this character sheet.
I like that Patron was able to start a drinking contest with the chief with no words, because they can't understand each other.
Listen. Some people are able to just transcend languages.
Well, I think drinking transcends language.
Booze.
He's
Booze
like,
up.
all right, fine.
All right, Leia, let's do this. All right, so here we go. So first we're gonna try and do the shield bash thing. We've been trying to do that
You
all
just
night.
enjoy sharing that we have multi-attack?
Oh yeah, I will click this button all day.
So I will take the 4 bludgeoning.
Yeah, he's also brave. I need you to make a DC 15 strength save.
Okay. Save?
Yeah, strength saving throw.
I have advantage on those?
Well, that's rough. At least it's not blood frenzy. Thanks. All right, so here's a spear. And here's another spear. 20 hits, right?
Yes.
We're
So
coming.
what is that? A total of
4 and then 4,
and
8.
5. 8 total.
Yeah. Hey, don't call it a comeback. All right, Baylor, it's your turn.
You ready for the hit point total?
Yeah.
Still in the 80s, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
I was gracious and let him get a round in without using my tail, but like.
Time for the pain.
Yeah, it's time for the pain. So starting off with claw attack 1,
Yep.
claw attack 2.
Yep.
We shall roll the damages 9 and 6, and then bite attack.
Mm-hmm.
That one misses. That one misses.
Yeah, that does
So
miss.
15 total damage that round.
Ouch. All right.
Yep.
All right, back to Patron. I need you to make that con save.
Will do.
We put the DC at 16, right? And you have
Sorry, that
advantage.
wasn't a save.
Oh no. All right,
buddy.
and we're back to this. All right, we're just gonna keep. We're gonna run it back. We're gonna do the shield bash first. 19.
Sure. I'll take 5.
Take 5. Strength saving throw.
Actually, if I block that, I don't have to roll the strength saving throw,
Correct.
right? I don't feel like doing that. So, /R space 1d8. Nope.
All right, here we go.
I should have saved it.
All right, so 18 damage coming your way.
Okay.
So you're taking 9, and then another hit. This is, and then you're taking 10. So you're taking a total of, I guess that would be 14 after your half. Back to Baylor.
14 damage total.
14 damage total.
All right. Give me a second to update hit points in roll 20. Alrighty. Play it again, Sam.
Okay.
20.
Yep.
Oh, it's so close to a crit. I was so close to a double crit, guys. So very
Did
close.
it just like roll over?
It's on 2 right now.
Oh man.
It landed on 20 and then bounced and just.
Feels bad.
Yeah. And then a bite attack, and then we'll roll damage. 18.
So the 18 will hit, but I'm going to use parry. Haha! I got to use parry! All
Is that
right.
the first one that's been close enough that parry would have mattered?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, nope. Sorry. Ignore the 7 then. I clicked
No
it before.
worries.
So you take 5 damage.
Yep. All right. Back.
Does it look like he's taking all of this damage, or did he rage without me
He is
catching it?
he is taking all the damage. He doesn't have any rage.
Mm-hmm. That's unfortunate, buddy. You got to get you one of those.
Yep, for sure.
We're on round 5 or 6 now, by the way.
Excellent. Good to know. Con save.
Oh.
He passed that one, Patron. Patron making a con save. Excellent. He walks the chieftain walks up to Mordock.
Does he pass that one? Because we set it at 16.
Oh, it's 16? He's 2 in then. And he points at Mordock. He points at Mordock, and he points at Patron, and he says, "Tell this man that I like him."
I'll relay that information.
He hasn't even started hallucinating yet.
He has not yet.
All right.
Just wait for the hallucinations. I'll pat him on the back, though,
Yep.
as I pass him the horn for the next round.
All right, so shield bash time. Yes. You taking it?
No. How much damage is it? 10? No, I don't feel like it.
Okay.
Yeah. No, you know what? I'm gonna take that. I'll take 5 damage and make a strength saving throw.
All right.
17.
Yeah. Good. Uh.
The 24 would
yeah,
hit, but I'm
so-
going to add my D7 or my D8.
D7 one time. One time I say roll a D7, and everyone's like, "I'm gonna roll a D7 forever."
That makes my AC 19.
I
so
still
he
hit.
still hits.
Yeah, take your 3 damage, and now it's to Baylor. Rolls D7. Night Divinity says thanks.
Drinking and fighting games. I feel like I'm, at.
At a Viking
Yeah, like
in
at a Viking-
Valhalla.
Yeah, in
Yep.
Valhalla.
Thanks, roll 20. All right.
Dang. MTG bot has a built-in dice roller. I thought
Nice.
Nightbot maybe had the same tool. And then I got by my own command.
Yeah, I love the fact that Nightbot's like, I got you. That was great. All right, so that was
Yeah, it should be my go, correct?
yes, it's your go.
Okay. So we're once again gonna play it again.
Play it against Sam.
Yes. Yes. Oh man.
That'll hit.
Yeah, but I wanted that crit.
Yeah, who doesn't?
How about that crit?
I'll take that one.
So we're gonna roll. First attack is 6 damage. Second attack is 5 damage.
Okay.
And then we're gonna bite for 25 to hit. 4 damage. So he takes 6.
Yep, I got it all
11,
marked.
15 damage.
All right, prepare yourself because
How's this guy looking?
he's looking like he's taking a lot of hits.
Okay.
He's just gonna start. He's realizing he throws his shield aside, and he's just gonna start trying to hit you with a spear, just straight up. 24.
I will. Nope. Well. Yeah.
What's your armor
I don't know why I
class?
tried that. I don't know why I tried that.
That's
15
okay.
plus 8 is. Oh no. Yeah, no, I couldn't have blocked that if I wanted to. So I take what is that? 6 or 7? 7 damage.
7 damage.
Okay. What's the
Next
one?
attack. 15 hit.
Yeah, this is one that I could have used my tail thing on.
Take 5.
So 11. And then what's half of plus 10 is 22
So that's
total.
that's 30 damage on that next one, on that last one.
You're right. 30. So 42.
So the total, hang on. The total for you is going to be 7 plus 5 is 12 plus 15. 27 damage
27 damage.
after your half.
Damage 36 is my total HP.
All right, more debauchery over here.
So in comparison to me, how's he looking? Because I look half of 89 is.
I've got you at 36. He looks a little bit better than you, but he looks like he's definitely like keeping step with you.
Yeah, I'm actually at 37. Sorry.
No worries. All right, and Patron. Oh my goodness.
17.
I hear a dog.
Somebody fighting a.
Sorry.
No worries.
He's got the cone of shame on, and he keeps hitting everything with it.
So does mine right now. I understand.
Yeah, we're pro pets here at Open Heart Games. All right, so yeah, so you make it. You're doing all right. He is not feeling great.
That's
fuel-
3 in a row. Is he poisoned at this point?
Yeah, he's having a rough day. There's suddenly a gout of yellow that appears on the snow as he regurgitates some of it. We'll leave it at that. Hey, look at that! It's Baylor's turn.
we're gonna play it again. That first one's in that one.
I'm just gonna have him. So as you try to lunge at him, oof, he is just gonna make an attack with his spear, try and hit you.
Unsuccessfully.
Unsuccessfully.
And then I will bite
Okay,
for 23.
that'll hit.
7 damage. Let
Alright.
me look at this real quick because I get hit points back when I successfully bite.
How many do you get back?
Because of my proficiency bonus, I get 4 hit points back.
What number are you on for rage again?
I think we're on round 7.
That
yeah.
sounds correct. Oops, not this.
So
Round
4
7.
heal. What's this at? 41.
Okay.
I gotta give me just a second. I gotta figure out what half of 89 is. 89 divided by 2 is 44.5. So if we go 44 is my half hit point marker.
Mm-hmm.
Until I get to 44 hit points, anytime I hit on a bite attack, I gain 4 hit points back.
That's awesome. All right, back to the gladiator. And he is going to try and strike you again 3 times.
First one hits.
Second one misses. He misses that last one.
Do you want me to tell you before you roll the next ones which one I want my tail to apply to? Because I'm gonna try to use it every time.
Yeah, just let me know before I roll.
I apologize. I should have let you know.
Yeah, just do it before the thing. So you're taking 8 damage.
8 damage.
Yep, and now it's you. I'm just going to go back and forth just to move this combat along.
You're good. I am at 33.
All right.
So, claw. Not rolling hot on these claws all of a sudden. Not rolling hot on these claws.
Roll
all of a
again.
sudden.
That was almost the same roll. All right, there we go. That'll hit.
That's my bite. So 11 damage. I gain 4 hit points back.
Yep.
It's 37.
So as he is taking the spear and he is just expertly like smacking your claws away, trying to dodge the bites, driving the spear into your shoulder. Like both of you get to this point where you realize that the gladiator says, "Are you not entertained?" You and Orcahart look at each other and are just both beginning to tire. Your rage is beginning to subside. The darkness of the veins in your arms, your fingertips and whatnot are beginning to wane a little bit. And you notice that this battle could go on for a while, but he's gonna give it one last go. He kind of grunts. There's blood in his hair and there's claw marks all over his chest, and he's gonna run at you with the spear and attempt to take you down.
All right, the first one I'm gonna use my tail.
Okay. Oh, ignore the fourth one. So he just blindly runs in. You dodge, huh?
What was the? Yeah, he misses.
Yep. You miss. He misses all of those. Your attacks.
Yep.
There you go.
20, 15, 20.
Yep, all
15
those hit.
hits, yeah.
Yeah.
Big damages, big damages. 19. 19. And I gained 4 hit points.
Nice. He goes down on one knee with his spear pointed up. He points his spear at Baelor, and he says to Mordok, he says, "I yield."
Hey, Baylor, he yields. You have won. Of
It
course.
takes Baelor a second to come to. Before, I would, when he hit me Would we assume he ran a distance away from me? Maybe moved, like ended up down here as I finished my attacks,
Yeah,
or did he finish right
yeah,
in front of
yeah.
me?
He's like over here.
So I close the distance, and as I get to him, I hear Mordok, and I kind of come out of it, and I drop rage as I like come back to my senses. The longer that I was in that rage, the more bestial I got. So like almost not even Baylor at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And as I come out of rage, I will look down at him, and then hold out a hand.
He'll take your hand, and spit into the snow. I mean, they're convinced that you're cursed. Are they wrong to think that?
Kind of disrespect, or is it just like crossing yourself if somebody seems possessed?
The look in his eyes says respect. The spit from his mouth says he's,
Like
this
warding
is...
off spirits or something?
Yeah.
Okay. I was misinterpreting that then. I thought it was like a sign of disrespect because
Nope.
I'm cursed, but that's fine. So I'll help him to his feet, give him a hearty slap on the back towards his group,
Mm-hmm.
and then I will go rejoin my party.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my lord!
What has happened?
I can't. If you keep moving, I can't help. Oh my gosh! I've made everything worse.
And then he gets spaghettified.
And then enlarge reduce takes effect.
Yeah. Yep. Got him. Hang on a second here. I'm breaking.
By the way, Patron,
Knees
if you keep
weak,
enlarge
Baylor's
reduce in your pocket, you can do that, right, Patron?
I can indeed enlarge reduce.
Yeah, if you keep that in your pocket, we could time that right when I rage in competitions like this, and it's just absolutely correct.
Yep. Oh my gosh, that was hilarious. Single axis and large. Yep, just. All right.
And then I'll drop the banishment.
I know Dark Gods 007's identity. I did some snooping. I found you. All right. So. Yeah, we're almost out of time, but let's go ahead and move things along. Suddenly, the druid pops back into existence. She looks very surprised, but she also kind of looks like a child that got her hands caught in the cookie jar, and she says, "I suppose that I may have deserved that, but instead of exiling you, you have won our contest. Come!"
I will look over at Mordok, Baylor will, and say, "Tell her he needed no help, and she has brought him shame."
I'll relay that, of course.
So the chieftain is hanging on to Patron and points to the druid and goes, "Shame! Boo!" and throws a snowball at her.
As the language of someone saying shame is pretty much unanimous, especially when you're drunk and you're pointing, Patron will also, slightly drunk because he failed one save, be like, "Shame!
Shame! Boo!" and throw another snowball. All right, and yeah, that's what happens there. The druid is just like, "Let us welcome them into the tribe in our traditional ways and our traditional customs with honor, and please come and join us for dinner."
Patron will put the drinking horn in Baylor's hand.
Baylor will not take it.
Oh,
He's not
no.
that dumb.
No. Baylor, you should just look at it.
I look at it.
Hold on, let me find it.
Are you going to link it?
It's what I was finding.
Excellent.
Inside the horn, as I hand it to you, is a potion of healing.
Oh, bet. So
Very
I'm
nice.
still gonna look at you very mistrustingly, because the last time you handed me something to drink, I tripped for 3 days. And then I will
True.
very slowly smell it. It absolutely doesn't smell like what the other stuff smelled like. But then I will down it. What's the healing for a drinking potion? Like
2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus 2?
Yep. Or win. Guess you're getting that
Max,
7.
let's go.
I'm kidding. I'll be nice. No mushrooms were added to this brew, says Night Divinity.
Roll a Constitution saving throw.
I mean, there might have been a little bit at the bottom, but it was the same horn.
Hey, that's supposed to be 51, sir. Thank you.
All right, so Bone Carver, the shaman, says, you will have, we have for you our delicacy. It is, and you notice that it is slightly spoiled raw fish.
Is this lutefisk?
Essentially, yes.
Gross. Baylor's all in.
Our people enjoy the tanginess of the meat that has gone past its prime. The fish, so long as you have the constitution for it, will not harm you.
I mean, Patron's just gonna bite in. Poison? What's poison?
Yeah, well, she just told me they poison, so I'm eating polar bear.
She didn't say it's poisoned. She said that it's so long as you have the constitution, it won't upset your stomach.
Well, that I don't have. I'll prefer not to dine on
I
the
got
local
plenty of.
cuisine.
Rabbit just takes out a carrot out of his bag. Sorry, vegetarian.
You want a con roll?
You're good. She says, so your quarry is not here. What will you do?
Have we determined that they speak common and we're just being rude earlier?
No,
or
no.
that's all?
They don't.
We're still relaying this through.
Yes. We already. We know that I'm almost positive you're not being truthful with us. We can stay the night, or we will accept your hospitality, and then we'll go search for ourselves.
She says in broken common so that the rest of her tribes people can't understand her. She says, come to my tent after food, so that we may speak privately.
Okay.
Okay. And I think that is a great place for us to go ahead and leave off tonight. That is a great place for us to go ahead and stop. So she says that after you have your food, you make your way back to her tent where she is going to tell you some more information. That's a great place. All right, so that is where
Exposition.
Yes, exposition. All right, so thank you all so much for hanging out in chat and for joining us tonight with our playthrough of Tyranny of Dragons. If you like what we do, you can help us out in several different ways. You can like us on Facebook. Oh, it's over here. You can like us on Facebook. You can check out our Instagram, which heavily features our cat Elspeth. You can like us on our YouTube channel. We will have new episodes, the last couple of episodes going up very soon. And you can also like us, follow us, and subscribe to our Twitch channel or our YouTube channel. Any little bit helps. And most of all, you can donate here to our Extra Life, which we raise money for Roanoke Carillion Children's, which is our local children's hospital here in Roanoke. Right now we're a little over our a little over halfway to meeting our goal, and we would love to have any donation. Even $5 helps. If you can't donate, if you can signal boost and let other people know to donate, that's greatly helpful. Thank you all so much. Have a great evening. And before I go, does anyone have anything? Because I don't want to cut anyone off.
Nope.
Excellent.
Nope.
With that, take heart.